Oh my goodness. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hope it's going well. Happy Sunday. It's, what do you know, a random stream on a Sunday from me because I never know what the heck I'm doing on Sundays and it always ends up being something different. And this time I'm going through my gaming backlog with my handy dandy spreadsheet that I always have. That last time I did one of these streams, it was over a year ago. So I've added plenty of games to it in my own time. I still have to add some stuff that I've picked up recently that is not on the spreadsheet. Then we can just talk through stuff that I have and haven't played and whether it might be a good stream game. And if it is a good stream game, how high of a priority it would be. Speaking of which, I need to add another column for priority because I need to know how high of a priority it will be if I do stream it. But yeah, I have my handy dandy spreadsheet here. I have another spreadsheet on the side with a list of stuff that I have with how long to beat so I can update the time to beat it. I got my gaming soundtrack in the background, or my Spotify playlist for gaming songs, so I can just listen to different stuff and it's not the same song on loop for 3 hours. So it should be pretty chill. Hello, Cashew. Welcome. You're gonna steal all my ideas? The audacity. I can't believe it. It is what it is. We like similar games. It's bound to happen. I can't believe I came in 8th in the Cashew Cup. Pathetic. Pathetic start. And that's considering I came top 3 like 2 or 3 times. The formerly dominant Leo Lovelace has fallen off a cliff, much like his opinions on the game in the past 2 weeks. Or his feelings towards the game, not his opinion on it. His feelings towards it. What can you do? What is he even playing right now? I think we have the Nier Automata soundtrack playing. Yes, Birth of a Wish from Nier Automata. Very good song. One of my favorites on that soundtrack. Okay, so as of right now, on my backlog spreadsheet, I have 384 games that I currently own and have not played. Actually, you can already see this is wrong because I have Yakuza 3 here, which I just finished yesterday. So actually, I need to update this to be Yakuza 4. Let me get the how long to beat on that bad boy. Between 20 and 40 hours, depending on side content. That is going to be, we'll put that down as 30. Yes, that will be streamed, and it is high priority. Hello, Kevin. Welcome. Hope it's going well. Uma do be an evil, evil game. It do indeed be an evil, evil game. An evil game that I've loved quite a bit over the past year and 2 months, but that is testing me at the moment, as I've ranted about multiple times. Space Marine 2 I beat, so that doesn't need to be on here. However, I did pick up Space Marine 1 recently, which is on the PS3, so I can update that. Because I would like to play the first Space Marine at some point. Looks like that's only about 8 hours, which isn't very much. I probably wouldn't stream it. It is indeed going well. Glad to hear it. Hello, Otto. Hope it's going well. Welcome. Next Uma Stream 1. It's been ages. It's not looking good right now. My opinion on the game is not as it's at its highest, so I have been significantly less motivated to play the game in general, even in my free time. So because of that, my motivation to stream it, or interest in streaming it, has also been significantly lower in recent weeks. So if my opinions on it return to what they had been, and I like it again, and there's a CM that I'm actually enjoying building for, and stuff I'm excited for, then I will probably stream it at that point. But as of right now, I am not really a big fan of the current scenario. I despise the current CM. So potentially when there's a different CM that is not as frustrating to build for, I would consider it again. But yeah, at the moment, I'm frustrated with multiple aspects of the game. Hey, this is the FGO soundtrack. Not a fan of the new scenario. It's I like Light Hello as a character. I like the idea of the scenario. Uh, I really don't like certain aspects of it. Like, I think it was easy to learn. I've only done 5 or 6 careers, and I think I understand it. I understand the flow. I understand what songs to pick and when. I understand banking songs. I always hit the super deluxe grand concert. Like, I've never missed that. So like I understand it. What I don't like is how restrictive the decks are. Because you have to bring a pal, which means you really only get a 5-card deck, which is obviously more restrictive than a 6-card deck, which means you have to rely more on parents. And I despise making parents. Auto run doesn't make a difference to me. I have never done an auto run. I don't have an interest in even setting it up because I feel like it's going to be a pain in the ass. The spark rerolling is not as cool as I hoped it would be because I reroll it and I get worse sparks than my original sparks. So I really don't like that it's even more reliant on having better parents because I hate the process of making parents. I don't like how much of a pain in the ass it is to get stamina and power because you have to run at least 2 speed cards, you have to run at least a wit card, you have to run at least the POW, which means you get 2 cards to work with. One of them is probably going to be another wit or a 3rd speed, which means you get 1 stamina or 1 power card. That's not enough. So I really don't like the increased reliance on parents. I really don't like how restrictive the decks are. It's less restrictive in that there's more speed cards and more wit cards you could run compared to like Trackblazer, but I just really don't like how hard it is to get the stats. I feel like I've probably gone on like 3 or 4 tirades about this at this point in the past week on stream. It's like every time somebody brings up Uma, I just like get set off and I'm like, oh my god. I think it won't be as bad for like sprints and miles where stamina is not as important, but for medium and long, I think it's particularly frustrating because stamina is a lot more important in those. I also really don't like how debuffs are getting more common because there's just more Umas that have debuffs who have been added to the game. There's Gold Ship's alt, which I already despise that Uma, and now you're throwing in Summer Gold Ship, who has the debuff Central alt, which I hated debuffs. Gold Ship was my arch nemesis, and now you have a new Gold Ship who is all about debuffing, which really pisses me off. Because her alt just goes on debuffers, and then they get extra debuffs on people, which is a super pain in the ass, so now you have to deal with more debuffs, and you have to deal with more annoying meta stuff, and I don't want to run the meta. I find no enjoyment in running the meta. I find no enjoyment in debuffs. So there's just a lot of things that I'm not happy with right now. Most days I don't run a career. I don't even log in some days at this point. I don't even think about logging in some days. What did the Horse Girl game do? It released a new update, and I don't mind the new scenario. In practice, there's just a bunch of aspects of the game that it feels like the competitiveness is getting significantly higher. It's getting... Which, I don't like to be competitive. Like, I think the previous CMs, through, like, Trackblazer and Unity, like, it was competitive enough that I still had fun. But not so competitive that I was like, wow, this is unwinnable. I have to devote 7 hours a day to doing it, blah, blah, blah. Like, I never felt like that. Now I kind of feel like I have to devote significantly more time to stick with people who are still playing CMs. And I really don't want to do that. I don't have the time to do it. I don't have the motivation to do it. There's a lot more negative feelings right now than positive from my end. So, I am going to be taking it... My plan, at least, right now... I did CCM 18 as Mile, which... Mile Turf, it's a lot easier for me to build for and run, which is good, but... my plan, more or less, is the current CM. I'm going to take very easy, very casual. I will still enter a team of 3 in, graded. I'll see how it goes, but I'm not going to try hard making stuff for it. I'm not going to really go crazy for it. And then I'll see how I feel come training time for the next CM, where it's Mile, it's Turf, a lot more of my Umas that I like can run that fairly easily. So that will be better at least. Hopefully it's not a disgusting meta, but it is Mile, which means I'm sure Kenai is going to be super common, especially with Golshi's ult. So there's going to be a lot of Kenai debuffers, which I'm already annoyed about. But also the week leading up to the next CM, I'm going to be away. I'm going to be at a convention, so I'm really not going to have, like, I'm losing an entire week basically of training because I'm going to be busy most of the day for an entire week, so I'm not really going to have time to train for it. So, I don't know. This first CM, I'm going to go really casual on. The second CM, I might just be forced to go casual on because of being busy. We'll see how it is after that. Biggest pain point for me, I talked about on my stream, where if you're playing meta, it doesn't matter to you at all since you can afford one less card in your deck for light hello. Right, exactly. Like, if you're playing a meta Uma, they probably have really good growths. They probably have really good, or really ideal growths for that track or distance. Like, they're gonna have innate skills that are amazing that you don't have to rely on cards for. You know, fucking Xmas Ogre. Which, what is this, Undertale? I've never even played Undertale, but I have some songs in my playlist for it. But boy, howdy, does it hurt every non-meta Uma to be forced to run one less card? Exactly. I don't doubt that you can play it without Light Hello, but I've been told that Light Hello is borderline essential because of how she affects, like, the songs, and she's good for, like, energy recovery, of course. I do appreciate that aspect of her. Her dates are, like, fantastic for recovering energy. I think they all give you mood up, which is great. The mother of all backlogs. Yeah, it's pretty dang big. And it's just gonna get bigger. Actually, speaking of which, this Armored Core game that I have here, I traded it in, so I don't have it anymore. That is off the backlog. I hope it's going well, Wasabi. Welcome. They're meta for a reason, really good growths, innate skills, but non-meta Umas you need to do a bunch of work that you can't afford to field anymore. Yep. Which is why I think, like, the parents are increasingly important, which is what I find super frustrating, because it's like, you can't just rely on your 5 borrows. Like, if you get screwed at the beginning of Grand Live, sure, it's great. You don't have to spend a whole run because you know by the end of junior year, oh, I didn't get any of the SP up songs, I didn't get any of, like, the top tier effectiveness songs, I didn't get any of, like, the speed or wit up songs. Like, okay, so I didn't get them early. It's going to be harder for it to snowball. I can just kill the career and start over. But this isn't Undertale. This is Bad on Theater, I think. This is Bad on Theater. Let's go to another song. So, like, sure, in theory, you can door faster, so you spend less time on the career, which is great. On the other hand, if you're dooring faster and more often, you can't just rely on your 5 borrows every day. You have to have 2 good parents of your own that you can run. Because if you don't, you are extremely limited on what you can do. Like, wow, 3 of my borrows got insta-doored because I didn't get the good SP bonus songs and stuff early on, which means I don't have as many skills, which means I can't compete with the people who are getting really good skills, or more skills than me. Like, great. So now, not only do I have to have 1 good parent or decent parent that I can use, I have to have 2. So I despise everything related to making parents and the reliance on it. If we had infinite borrows, if we had 100 borrows, if we had 20 borrows, if we had 15 borrows, I would feel better. Because at least I could do more runs with borrows. But we don't. Doing good? Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Sorry for everybody who's in here that I'm just ranting about Uma, by the way. It's so easy to set me off with it, but it's just like, it hits me harder because Uma has been like one of my absolute joys and loves for the past year. Like, ever since I started playing it, end of June or whatever, in 2025. Like, I've been obsessed with Uma. I've loved it. I've spent so much time on it. And to have it, like, turn into something that I'm feeling so pessimistic about is really, really sad to me. We rant because we love it so much. That's true. If I didn't care about it that much, I wouldn't be ranting. I guess it's the same thing with, like, the physical games. Uma trainers can branch out into being IRL Uma breeders? Yeah, that's true. I could just get a real horse, but they're expensive and a lot of work. Also, RIP Surumaru Tsuyoshi for any Uma fans who may have not seen the news or did, but she was he was Outer Wild soundtrack. I listen to this so much. I love Suru. I want them to come out. I want to roll for them. I will run them. But it's very sad that one of the last iconic members of the Golden Gen has now passed away. At a ripe old 31, he lived a good long life despite being a sickly horse. I'm saying, like, whenever some of my personal top favorites end up passing away, though, like the ones who are still alive, like Dober and Aishin Flash and Fine Motion and Curran, like, they're all still alive. And they're all in my, like, top 10. Yeah, whenever any of them die, like, if I'm streaming that day, I might have to take the day off. It doesn't matter if it's Uma or something else. I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna be hit so hard. I'm, like, starting to tear up just thinking about it. Hello, Tim. Welcome. Hope it's going well. Belated. It's all Cashew's fault? That bastard. How could he do this? I see a few games on those stuff, so I'm excited to get my thoughts on. Well, there is a lot to go through, that's for sure. So I don't know what I want to do here first. I could go... I should probably add the new stuff that I have, actually, and then I can kind of go through the whole list entirely. So let's see. First, let me add the physical games that I've gotten that I have not added. Let's see. So I got Marvel's Midnight Suns, which I do not have on the list. So let me throw Midnight Suns in there. Marvel's... Oops. Midnight Suns. I think I have that on PC and PS5. But how long does that game take to beat? Midnight Suns. Between 40 and 66 hours, and that doesn't include the DLC. So let's put that down as 52. Right in the middle. I'd say that's maybe a stream. I'm interested in it, but I need to look into it a little bit more. Not streaming Alien Isolation. I think that game might be too scary for me. I'm a little bit of a wuss when it comes to horror games. I can play some of them, but I think it's more of like the action horror that I can tolerate. The wow, you can't fight back and you're being hunted by a horrifying alien who learns what you play or learns how you play and adjusts to make your life harder sounds horrific to me. I got Romancing Saga 2, which I don't know a whole lot about this game outside of that it's a JRPG that looked kind of interesting. I got that on PS5. Looks like that's about between 40 and 56, so I'll put that at like 48. I probably wouldn't stream that. I feel like that's too niche. Rise of the Ronin is another one I picked up recently. Hello, you're welcome. Hope it's going well. Hey, did you see the new FGO Anniversary Servant? FGO 11th Anniversary in Japan? That's a pretty hype pick, I thought. Rise of the Ronin. PS5 game. 24 hours to beat the main game, 52 to do the side stuff. Alright, I'll put that down as like 30. Maybe I would stream that. I don't know why I have Rift of the Necrodancer as a definitive yes. Not really a shock, but it's cool to see. Yeah. Pretty big hype pick, but yeah, definitely not like shocking. I honestly don't know how many like big names they really have left that they could even do for Anniversary. Lego Horizon, which I like Lego games. I think they're a fun turn my brain off and just kind of chill type thing. It's not very long. Looks like it's 7 hours to beat, 11 hours if you do side stuff, so probably like 8 hours. I would consider streaming it if I just wanted something chill. The Lego games I would all put down as like maybes. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Switch 2 I just picked up. WX. That is on Switch 2. I think that's a long game. Xenoblade Chronicles. Yeah, 56 hours for the main story, 83 if you're doing side quests and stuff. That's pretty long. Put that down as 75. Maybe 70. I would consider streaming that. Or trying it. It could be a game that I drop after one stream, though. Like Free Houses and Breath of the Wild were recently. That's what would make it fun. There's a mix of action and hide. There's standard humans and androids that you can kill, but the xenomorph is unkillable and you're stalker type. Oh, okay. I didn't realize there were enemies that you could fight. I thought it was only hide. Now, Midnight Suns is an XCOM-like, I think, but obviously since they're Marvel heroes, you can't permanently lose units, so the stakes are pretty non-existent. I don't mind that, as somebody who's never played a game like that. Might be easier to, like, wean myself into that genre with a game like that. Midnight Suns is a lot of fun. I think Truff also liked Midnight Suns a lot. So it's good to know that opinions on that are pretty good. That's one of those games that I think has gotten, like, almost like a belated life. Like, it wasn't super popular on release, but, like, in the years following it, it got more popular, which is kind of interesting. Put that down as, like, medium to check out. I just realized I need to stir the pasta sauce. Yikes. All right, I will be back in, like, 20 seconds. It's one of my favorite Outer Wilds songs playing right now, by the way, so you can listen to the Outer Wilds soundtrack. Hey, when this song played in the game, I was tearing up and fighting for my life not to cry. So you can think about how Leo felt when he was listening to this song while he was gone. All right, the sauce has been stirred. Don't burn the gabagool. I would never. Hey, it's my favorite part of the song that I just came back to. Did you all cry like I did? Low stakes is fine too. I prefer low stakes. High stakes, I feel like, would stress me out a lot, and I would just keep resetting. Did a terrible job of advertising Midnight Suns. Oof. Excuse me. Don't forget the salt the pasta. Of course, you gotta salt the water. But the pasta's not for another, like, 3 hours. Gotta give the sauce time to cook. Sauce. Just had to crack open my cold one. And by a cold one, I mean a brisk iced tea. You put some pasta water in the sauce? Generally, no. I have seen people that do that, but that's not how my parents did it growing up, so I've never really done it myself. But I could see it. I definitely see the appeal. Your Italian moms do that to help thicken the sauce with the starch. Yeah, gets the sauce a little bit thicker, and it adds a little bit of flavor. Just a bit. But obviously you're mixing the sauce and the pasta together anyway, so. I've also been picking up some PS3 games recently. So I'd like to start streaming some PS3 stuff when I have the time. I picked up El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron. Never played that when I was younger, but I remember it catching my eye. El Shaddai. Oh, it's not that long. It's like 9 hours. It's like a 2-streamer. Oh my god. Travelers from Outer Wilds. They're hitting me with all the Outer Wilds stuff back to back to back to back. I also got Siren Blood Curse, which is a very rare PS3 game. Horror game. I think it was like a sequel or a remake of a PS2 game, maybe? How long to beat? Come on. Don't you just spin endlessly? It's like that's about 12 hours. I do have Devil Survivor on here, yeah. Deadly Premonition I picked up, which I know Cashew likes. Deadly Premonition? Remake of the original PS2 Siren. Gotcha. I've heard this game is a little bit jank, but it's also a cult classic, so... Damn, that game's longer than I thought. Like a 20-hour game. I expected it to be like 10. I got Ico Remastered on the PS3, which I believe that was a PS2 game. Same creator as Shadow of the Colossus and Last Guardian. Never played it. But now I have the remake, or the remaster. Deadly Premonition is all jank. I wouldn't know. I've never played it. Sounds about right. I would have to double check what the... That doesn't seem very long. Devil Survivor. Let's see what it said. So it says the main story is about 42 hours. If you also do side content, it's about 57. So I think, what did I put it down as? 52. Roughly in the middle, slightly more towards the long side. 56. Oh, I basically put down the full plus extra content, which I guess makes sense. I tend to do a lot of the side stuff in like the Persona and Metaphor type games. I mean, I'm playing Trails right now, and I've done every single side quest that the game has thrown at me, so... Ico is indeed a PS2 game. It's an oldie. Binary Domain, I got. I don't know if that was developed by RGG, but I know it was a Sega thing, at least. Binary Domain. Looks pretty short, 10 hours. Max Payne 3. It is RGG, really? Okay. I've never played a Max Payne game before. It doesn't seem like you have to play the other ones to play the third one. It just happened to be in a lot of games that I bought, and I was like, well, it is worth basically nothing if I trade it into, like, GameStop or something. And it has really good reviews, so I will hang on to it. and maybe I'll play it at some point. Gotta stream Snake Eater? I think I have... Oh yeah, I have the remake there. With a maybe. Pick up The Last Guardian for PS4. If you haven't, that would round out the Team Eco catalog. That's the only one I don't have. Yeah, I have. So I have the Eco remaster on PS3. I have the Shadow of the Colossus remake on PS4, but I don't have The Last Guardian yet. It's on my list. If I happen to see a good deal for it physically or something, then I will pick that up. So I think that's all of the other physical stuff, more or less, that I've picked up recently. Oh, no, there was some more that I forgot. Wasteland 3. I've never played a Wasteland game. I think, does that... That's like an RPG, but like... top-down, turn-based, right? I got that recently for fairly cheap. I know you're a big Snake Eater guy, Cashew, that's for sure. Looks like that's decent length, 42 hours or so. Catherine, I've already beaten. Bramble the Mountain King. I feel like I have that on here. I do not have Bramble the Mountain King on here. Indie horror game. Oh, no, I have that on PS5. I think that's relatively short. Got all the freaking Borderlands games in here. Hello, Poi. Welcome. Hope it's going well. Yep, 5 hours. That's a one streamer. Unfortunate it's not the OG. Yeah, generally speaking, if there's a remake, I'll play the remake over the original just because older, janky stuff can tick me off a little bit. So I would go for the remake. But I do have the HD collection, which has the OG. HD Collection 2 comes out this month, and it has Metal Gear Solid 4, so it finally, for the first time ever, is not going to be locked on PS3. So all of those people who like Metal Gear Solid and have never gotten to play MGS4, because it's the only game that never came off of PS3, you can finally play it. It'll be on PC, it'll be on Xbox, it'll be on Switch. It'll be everywhere. It's crazy. It's crazy that game is finally leaving PS3 jail. After so long. I played it on PS3, but you know, I'm glad for other fans that they will get the chance to finally play it. Happy for the universe to be able to play it. It's an amazing game. It deserves to be played. I have a Katamari. Damacy reroll. Hey, Persona song just started. I should not have Persona songs playing. These are all going to get claimed. All right, we'll switch to Stellar Blade soundtrack. That sounds good. Guess what the most played Persona song on Spotify is? Probably the lead song on Persona 5. Is it Life Will Change? I would probably guess Life Will Change. Yeah, I've never played a Katamari game. But they seem like they would be kind of dumb fun. Pretty short, 5 hours. P3R song, really? If it's P3R, then it's going down now? If I had to guess? Even though Delta's essentially an upgraded port, Literally plays exactly the same way. Only thing I don't like about it is the graphics, hyper realistic, suck the charm out of the original art style for me. That's fair. If you just, I mean, I think, no, you said Metal Gear Solid 2 is one of your all-time favorite games, right? Not 3? Like 2 is in your top 3 or something like that? Katamari is a great one and doneer for you. You can keep going. There's lots of games, but it's a good time. It is the one? That's a good song. I mean, worthwhile. How many Katamari games are there? Damacy Reroll is on PS4. We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie is on PS5. Once Upon a Katamari. Katamari Forever. Jeez, there is Me and My Katamari, Touch My Katamari, Beautiful Katamari, Tap My Katamari. There's a lot of Katamari games, damn. So I think I got all of those ones in. Similar one I had for Shadow of the Colossus. Games 1-to-1 of the original. Suffers from the same problem with the hyperrealism, sucking a charm out. There is a big trend in, I guess, the past, like, decade. It's like a lot of just chasing more and more and more realistic stuff, which I can see the criticism of. Because sometimes I think the super realistic stuff is awesome and it looks really good. But other times I just miss, like, the unique charm of, like, a more distinctive art style, if that makes sense. So I can see where you're coming from, especially since you played the original. I think for somebody who never played the original, like me, it's probably not really going to be as noticeable or something that I would probably have as a complaint. But for people going from original to new game, I could definitely see it. Is that all of the physical games I've gotten? Have I added everything? Yes. Okay, so I think that's all the physical games I've gotten recently. How about digital? Let me check my recent Steam games. Gears 5. Well, I haven't played any of the other Gears, so not going to add that one. The Incident at Galley House. That is a detective game. I really want to play detective games. They look super, super fun, and I like puzzle solving, and I like that idea, but I haven't really played many. This is fairly recent, I believe. So I don't know how accurate the time to beat is going to be. The Instant Galley House. Oh, that's not that bad. About 8 hours. Jak and Daxter's art was fun. Jak and Daxter is one of those classic series that I never played that I would like to. I do have it on here. Grandma back home, very nice. Enjoy your time with your family. Hyperrealism has become the most expensive way to look like everything else. Yeah. It's definitely more of a problem with Western games than... I think a lot of, like, Japanese and just Asian developed games in general have a lot more distinctive art styles than a lot of stuff in the West. Outside of indies. Indies are obviously different. But a lot of, like, big AAA games, it's a lot of very just hyperrealism stuff. Which I guess is kind of ironic because we were talking about Metal Gear Solid and Shadow of the Colossus there, both of which are Japanese games. Kasha played the RE clone earlier this year. Forget what it was called, but had really good puzzles. Tormented Souls. Oh, I've heard of that. I see those games at GameStop all the time. Like, every time I go to GameStop, there's always at least one copy of Tormented Souls pre-owned. Second one was a difficulty jump for sure. I don't like difficult games. Really good puzzles? Well, I do like really good puzzles. I have Nobody Wants to Die. I think that's a relatively short game. Uh, 6 hours? Yeah, that's not bad. Hello vs. Robo is really good. Which is that the Plants vs Zombies kind of one? Interested in a few the same way. Was that like via a FaceTime or a video call or something? Team of Love and Nekopara both peak. I got a lot of visual novels on my list, yeah. I don't think I would stream either of those, but they are games I'd like to play on my own time, at least. Go far, my beloved. A great detective game. The Wolf Among Us, I did play. I loved that. I played that as a teenager. I really hope the second one actually comes out. That game has been in development hell for 18 years. That's what it feels like, at least. Realistically, it's probably been more like 10. But either way, that game is freaking taking ages. And I know they got a trailer recently. They were like, oh, okay, it's coming out 2027. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Hello, Good Boy. I don't know if that's a tearjerker game, but little indie game about a girl and her dog. Third Crisis Neon Knights. Oh, never mind. that's a henty game. That's not getting streamed. Drapline. I remember Cashew streamed that, I think. I picked it up on sale fairly recently. That doesn't even have a time to beat. Friendship with Hogwarts Legacy, non-existent. Metarot, still my beloved. I've actually gotten ads for... I don't know if there's like a swimsuit skin or something for some characters that just came out in that game, but I've been getting ads on Twitter recently for some character in a swimsuit from that. Full version on the horizon. Oh, I didn't realize that it wasn't the full game. Showing us all the games you have. These are all the games that I have not beaten. If you want the full list of games that I have, we got to go to the collection tab where I have all of the games that I own. Just physically. This is only my physical collection. I don't have a sheet for my digital collection. But I've seen... Oh, maybe it is that. Yeah. Uh, 7 Billion Humans. That is a puzzle game, I believe. Like a coding puzzle game. Just joking. Oh, about your corn games. I wouldn't have mentioned that one if I realized it was a corn game at first, but unfortunately I said it and then I clicked on it and I looked at it and I was like, yeah, never mind. That's not happening. My stream for Drapline was 4:44 and I finished the main scenario as far as what was out at the time, but there's more coming. Oh, okay. Looks like this is about a 12-hour game. Baldur's Sky also peak. I've heard good things about it. That is definitely not something I would stream. But maybe I should make this a drop-down. I don't know why there's an 80 and a 136. I must have put something in the wrong spot. If I could make this a drop-down, I could easily select like just the yeses. And then I could see only the games I want to stream. And then the stuff I don't want to stream, it would just be left blank or something. Yeah, I might have to change that to a drop-down. Or no, that's not a drop-down. I just have to add a filter. That's fine. Yeah, anything visual novel will almost never get streamed, unfortunately. I like visual novels from what I've played, but they're just too hard to stream. Number one, they're too niche. Not a whole lot of people are going to want to come and watch a visual novel. Number two, they're usually pretty long, which is also a debuff to streams. Number three, they are only reading out loud because they pretty much never have voice acting, so I have to read everything out loud, which is absolutely killer on my throat. And I would shred my vocal cords, and that is not going to go well. It's three very tough aspects that make it pretty unlikely to ever happen. So those are probably just a for me thing. GTFO I got, but that is probably like a collab thing at some point. Lego Voyagers. Did I have that in here? I do not have Lego Voyagers. Oh, that's actually a co-op thing, I think. Do you listen to music of games you haven't played? I have a hard time doing it. Almost never. A big part of the music for me is that when I listen to it, I can remember like scenes that it played in. I can remember the experience of playing the game, like whether it's a boss fight or an emotional scene or a hype scene or just like exploring the world. Like I associate a lot of the songs with when I played it and what I was doing. So usually I can listen to a song from a game I haven't played and be like, oh, that's a good song. But like it doesn't hit for me if I haven't actually played it. So I do have a couple songs in this playlist from games that I haven't played, but 95 to 98% of it is stuff that I have played and remember hearing it in the game, if that makes sense. Come and watch. I'll be there for Atomic Heart. I heard decent things about that. Is that an automatic Ace Attorney exclusion? It makes it significantly less likely. Ace Attorney is probably like towards the top of my list for like games I would actually like, or visual novels I would like to play. It might even be number one in terms of visual novels I would like to play. But it does make it a much harder sell just because of how hard it is to talk that much. Like, I obviously talk a lot. You guys know when you come to my streams. But on the streams where it's like more talking, like the games that involve more talking, or if I have lengthy just chatting sections at the end, it hurts my throat. Like yesterday when I finished stream, I had a sore throat because I spent like 2 hours after I beat Yakuza just talking, like basically nonstop. So anything that involves that much talk, like today, I'm probably gonna have a sore throat by the time I finish the stream. And that's 3 hours. So like anything that involves a ton of talking and a ton of reading is a much harder sell compared to something where it's like I can kind of be quiet for periods, like during cutscenes, during boss fights. Like Ace Attorney, if I were to stream a visual novel, Ace Attorney is probably one of the only ones that I would consider actually doing. Made Cafe Simulator in the list soon. I saw the trailer that you posted for that, and I watched it. I thought the dancing guy cracked me up when I saw him the first time, and then the random like slap that sent them flying across the room. We've had a Discord chat, and we all voice hack collectively or something to that degree. I would be very wary of having anybody on a call who is not like one of my like VTuber friends. Just because you never know what somebody might say. So it's a lot harder to vet anything like that. So I probably wouldn't ever do something where it's like a with chat voice call type thing. But I do see the way that it would take away a lot of the stress off of one person's voice because it's spread out among people. There are like, I don't know if you've ever checked out Zero, one of my friends who I stream with a lot, his channel, but like when they play like long games, stuff like Persona, Danganronpa, when he did Ace Attorney, he actually did Ace Attorney fairly recently. When he does it, he has like 2 to 4 other people with him, like his other friends through streams and stuff, and they like select characters to each voice. So it is doable in that way because they have some of the shared voice acting, I guess, quote unquote, spread out. The problem with that is that one, it's harder to actually get scheduled because then you're reliant on like it being a pseudo collab where everybody has to be available at the same time. And 2, something I've noticed with my streams is that my collabs do worse than everything else. Whenever I collab, like do a collab stream, that always gets way less views and chats and engagement compared to any of my solo streams. So I'm basically tanking whatever game it is because I know because it's a collab, it will get less views. I know because it's a visual novel and it's niche, it will get less views. So it makes me, again, I do this for fun. It's not like I'm only doing it for views, but it is also kind of an ouch moment when you see something do really, really bad numbers-wise. And it makes me not want to stream that type of thing in the future and stick to stuff that I like that also does well. Like, if I'm choosing between stuff I like that does well and stuff I like that doesn't do well, I'm going to pick stuff I like that does well. And then I'll just play the stuff I like that doesn't do well in my own time. If that makes sense. Babada booty. Babauda baba booby. Algorithm's always watching? It is. Referencing Family Guy. I haven't watched Family Guy in so long. It's that Cashew's fault, I'm telling ya. Yeah. It's always Cashew's fault. That's just how it goes. Fall 26 is scheduled for release, whatever that means. Sometime between September to December, then. Hey, it's still Stellar Blade soundtrack. I'm going to run up and stir the sauce again. I'm going to have to do that like 1 or 2 more times until my mom is home and she takes over the duty. So I will be back again in like 20 to 30 seconds. BRB. I've returned. The sauce freshly stirred. Okay, I think I've almost finished updating PC stuff I've gotten. Don't drop the pasta. Not the pasta. Pasta and sauce. Pasta and sauce. Schrodinger's Call. So... Okay, so I do have that one in the list. That's another relatively recent visual novel that really interests me, that I would consider streaming, just because it's relatively short at only 8 hours, and supposedly the story is really, really, really good. It's probably also something that would, like... Why did I put members for Scott Pilgrim? It's probably something that would make me cry, though, which always makes me a little antsy because I feel embarrassed if I cry, which is why I muted myself in Yakuza yesterday. On OpenCritic, Schrodinger's Call is tied for the second highest reviewed game of the year. There's a 3-way tie for first, which is Mina the Hollower, Forza Horizon 6, and Dave the Diver in the Jungle. And then there's another tie for second with Schrodinger's Call right there. So it's supposed to be really, 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 really good. Hello, Oblivion. Welcome. Hope it's going well. Joined and thought you fell asleep with your eyes open? No, I just ran away for a second. I'm safe. Homura Hime. Did I add that? I did not add Homura. Oh, I did. Okay, so in that case, I'm caught up on my Steam games. So I'm caught up on Steam, I'm caught up on my physical games, which means at this point, I should be able to go through the whole list, and now I can reprioritize. Maybe I'll just clear this entire stream. I mean, this entire column. And I'll, like, re-add things. Okay. So, let's go through. Let's see. Would I stream it? Yes, maybe, no. And if it is a medium or yes, what is the priority? Picked up Harmor Human. I want to pick it up at some point. I did. I have not played it yet, as it is in my backlog list, but I thought it looked pretty neat. I did watch another video of it after I picked it up, and it seems a little more combat, like combo focused, which I'm always kind of iffy on because I'm not big on the combo focused type combat stuff like you would see in a DMC or a Bayonetta. But it doesn't seem that long, and I like the art style, so. Okay, 007 First Light, the new James Bond game that came out a couple months ago. I did pick that up recently. I think it looks pretty good. It's not that long, so I would consider streaming that one. I guess I'll only put the priority for stuff that I have as a definite stream. Maybe I'll leave off for now. He can combo rhythm game perfectly, but when it comes to combat, he fumbles. Yeah, I think part of it is because with rhythm stuff, it's really based on like the audio and the music, and I have a easier time following that when I'm doing like the button presses. With a lot of action stuff, it's not so much hitting the buttons on the screen as they show up. It's memorizing the combos and then executing that. And I don't like that. That's why I don't play fighting games. Like, I'm not really into the Bayonetta DMC stuff. Like, I have no interest in memorizing combos, executing different combos in different scenarios. Like, I do not have the brain capacity for it. So I will not play fighting games. And I have very little interest in action games that are similar to that. Which is also why you see, which I'm sure frustrates some people, but in like Yakuza, where there are potentially combos, and other games of that nature, when you watch, you will see I never do combos. I press, in every single fight in Yakuza, I press square, 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 triangle. Over and over and over and over and over again until the fight is over. That is the one thing I do. I will pick up items and use them. I will occasionally dash away, but that's about it. If I can't just do square, 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 triangle to get through it, it probably ain't happening. Anyway, 1000 Resist, I believe, is... Titanfall 2 is in there, by the way, yes. 1000 Resist is an indie game that's supposed to be really good, but it might be too niche for a stream. This is the point where you guys, if you see stuff and I'm like, I don't know about that for a stream. If all of a sudden a lot of people are like, whoa, that game's really good, then I might reconsider. 3D Dot Game Heroes. I have heard a lot of good things about. I think that's kind of a Zelda-like. One of those like niche classics almost, or like cult classics from the PS3 era. I think that's only on PS3. But I picked that up fairly recently. I think the price has gone up, unfortunately, because of all the physical game news, but I would consider playing that one on stream. 7 Billion Humans, Plague Tale, A Space for the Unbound, I personally really want to play. I don't know if it would do super well as a stream, but it's one of those things that's like, yeah, I don't think it'll do well, but I really want to play it, so I'm going to force it on the schedule, kind of like Trails. Advance Wars, I'm going to try on my own time. Somnium Files, I would consider. That's another really niche one, but I really liked the first one. So, Alan Wake, yes, I would stream that. And I would say that's probably medium priority. Also of note, in my backlog, I have more games than is listed, but when it is a game in a series where you should play through the games in order, I only put the next game in the series. So like with Yakuza, I only have Yakuza 4 in the backlog list, even though I have 5, 6, 7, 8, the spin-offs, because I will play them in order. So I just update it one at a time. When I play Yakuza 4, I take it off the list, and then I put Yakuza 5 in the list. Like, I don't put the whole thing in the list. So if you see something like Alan Wake, you can then assume that, like, okay, after Alan Wake, then Control and Alan Wake 2, like, then those would show up. But I will start at, like, whatever point I'm at, and then go from there. But Alan Wake definitely is one I want to stream. That would actually not be a bad one. I was talking about my schedule for October a little bit yesterday on stream, and I was thinking, like, I'm going to play Silent Hill Townfall, and then after that, I probably will have 2 or 3 Wednesdays in October left. So, maybe that would be a decent time for Alan Wake. That explains why I saw Metro and no other. Exactly, yep. Because I haven't played any of them, so I just have the first one on there. The exception would be something like here, where it's like, well, Leo, you're talking out of your ass. You have 5 Assassin's Creeds. That's different, because those games are all different. They don't, like, connect. They're all their own thing. So I could pick any of them and play it. I don't have to play them in an order. They're their own story with their own protagonist and their own location, if that makes sense. So in that case, same thing with, like, the Borderlands games. Like, Fire Emblem. Like, if it's a series like that where it's not a direct sequel or connected, then I just put everything. But if it is a direct continuing story, then I only put the next game. Hopefully that makes sense. Jedi Fallen Order, that is on the list. I do want to play that. I'm there for Alan Wake all day. I've heard so many good things about Alan Wake 2 especially. And Control. I know Control Resonant is next month? Alice Madness Returns, I've heard good things about. I don't know if that might be too niche or old for people to care about. Alien Isolation is one of those games that I think would do well as a stream, but I'm also really scared to play. So I'm a little hesitant on that one. They do connect, the universe is shared, but the plots aren't contingent. Quantum Break? Is that part of, like, the Remedyverse? I thought that was its own thing for some reason. I think Quantum Break is only on Xbox, right? Or did that end up on Steam? Oh, apparently it is on Steam, and I have it. Okay, well, I have it on Steam at least. I guess I'll put down Alien as maybe, just because I think people would like it. But the likelihood of it showing up isn't super high, because I think it would scare the shit out of me. Amnesia the Bunker, I would say I would stream it, but it's not a very high priority. Assassin's Creed, I would like to stream some Assassin's Creeds, but see, Cashew stole that from me. He just started playing Black Flag this week. I would probably pick up the remake for that, but like, I have all these other ones. The only Assassin's Creed I've ever played and beaten is 2. I think something like Odyssey and Origin, like, I think the modern ones are probably more my cup of tea than the older ones. Given, like, the more RPG aspect of things. But I've heard good things about pretty much all of them. And I think I would like the series. I just don't know where I would actually... Shadows is probably the one I'm actually most interested in playing. But I think that's the one that I would get really frustrated with, like, chat during. Just because that game had some controversies, and it's like, I'll play the games I want to play, but I don't want to deal with, like, people showing up in chat just to be like, you're playing this game, but XYZ. Oh, I didn't like this part of this game. That sucked. It should have been this. It could have been way better if blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't want to hear. I'm here to have a good time and play the game, man. I don't want to deal with it. It's the same reason I wouldn't stream Hogwarts Legacy. But the other Assassin's Creeds, I think, are more open. My spy got me that valuable bit of info. Yeah. Got somebody in the house with a wiretap. I'm there for Ezio Collection, Odyssey Origins. Don't really care much for the others. That's fair. I've heard that Valhalla is kind of bloated. I would probably burn out doing the side content on that. But Odyssey and Origins, I heard really good things about. And I really liked Assassin's Creed 2, so... I mean, I have to imagine I would like... what is it? Brotherhood and Revelations? Original formula is best. RPG elements add too much fluff. I did 100% both Odyssey and Origins. Very good. I've heard very good. But yeah, I mean, I guess they fall into the trap of, like, the Ubisoft open world formula, which, again, I don't necessarily mind. Like, you could argue that Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei are kind of like that formula, and I personally really liked it. But play Darkwood. I've heard good things about Darkwood. I think I have it on Steam. Legacy is great, but you... Oh, that has combo combat? Really? I'm just going to blanket throw maybe on all of the Assassin's Creeds. I would still consider Shadows because it's the one like I'm interested in, but I would probably just be pretty liberal with muting or deleting comments if I was getting annoyed. MEAC1's the perfect one. I don't have one. I've been meaning to pick it up though because it's pretty cheap on PS3 physical. It's one of those ones that I have on my list. Like you guys can see, I have a wish list tab as well for games that I don't have physically, but I would like to pick up at some point. And I have quite a bit. Just between PS5, from PS5 to PS3, I have 181 physical games that I don't have that I'm interested in. I know that these Silent Hills aren't supposed to be good, but I kind of want to have all of them and check them out anyway. Yakuza Dead Souls, it's the only Yakuza game I don't have physical. But I do believe... I have the OG Assassin's Creed on here. I spelled Alpha wrong. Downcoming, my beloved. Yeah, those would be games that I don't necessarily expect them to be very good, but I kind of want to play them anyway. Anyways, back to the backlog. Astral Chain, I've heard good things about. I don't know if that's one of those like combo heavy type things, considering I think it's Platinum. And I think a lot of their games can be like that. Like I liked Nier, and that wasn't like that, but I would put that down as a maybe just because it seems pretty interesting. Atomic Heart, I would say is a maybe. Beyond Good and Evil, I would say is a maybe. That's a classic that I never played. Binary Domain is a maybe. BioShock Infinite, yes, I would definitely stream, and I would say that's high priority. I really want to... Actually, I would say medium. I really want to play it, but I don't know when. Blueprints, I would stream. It's probably going to be pretty niche. I think that was one of those games. I remember Cashew said that when he streamed it, that had like 2 viewers or something like that. And it's like, yeah. And that was like right when it came out. And I'm looking at it like a year later. But I just love puzzle games so much. I thought BioShock Infinite was like Omega Beloved. Every time I brought it up as a stream game, people are like, it's fine. I feel like when I've brought it up, people are like, oh yeah, that game's good. I've played that. You should play that. That's weird. Because we share a lot of viewers. Maybe it would do better on a weekend? Maybe. It's the most minimalistic and is therefore very repetitive, but the lack of side things to do allows the game to kind of focus more on the mystery and depth, which is unparalleled even in later ones. That's fair, yeah. I remember AC2 had a lot of the, like, collectibles, which... Assassin's Creed 2, I got every single trophy in that game except for 2, and they were both for collecting, like... One of them... There were 2 different collectibles, and they were both collectible trophies. Those are the only things I didn't do in that game. I have like 97% completion on it on PS3. And I pulled up a YouTube guide that just shows you where they all are. So you can just go to them. And I think I got maybe a 5th through the video before I was like, I'm so bored. And I stopped and I never got the rest of the collectibles. They were the only 2 trophies I didn't get to keep me from the platinum. AC1 is one of my favorite games of all time, so I'd definitely be there. You should play it before you start the Ezio. It's like start a Desmond story. Right, yeah, it's like 1 Ezio trilogy and 3 are the Desmond games, right? And then they got rid of all the modern stuff after 3, and they were just like, never mind, we don't care anymore. It's only about the historical stuff now. Infinite's fantastic. Blueprints I thought was good. It's good. Borderlands... That will get streamed at some point. Either 2 or 3. Zero and I have talked about it as a potential collab. You know, we do our like Thursday. Thursday is kind of the collab day, more or less, at this point. But you know, we're still doing a lot of other stuff that we've talked about too. So like it's one of many games that we've talked about in that slot. So I just don't know when that would actually happen. Kind of they dropped Desmond for sure. RIP Desmond. Yeah, I've heard all about that. I've heard about a lot of the controversy with the decision to drop Desmond and people not being happy with the choice to do that because there were. It's interesting because I feel like that's another one of those in hindsight type things where I feel like when the games were coming out, I remember people being like, what the hell is this Desmond stuff? The modern stuff is weird. I want to be the assassin and just run around in like the historical time and have fun. But now I feel like the attitude has shifted, and now what I hear more often is people who are like, I really liked the Desmond stuff. I like what they were doing with the story. I don't like that they dropped it and decided to just ignore it in future games. So it's almost like a Midnight Suns kind of thing, where I feel like opinion has just changed over time. But yeah, I've heard about some of the controversy there, and I've also been spoiled on what happens to Desmond. So a while ago, I was spoiled on that. So I would say Borderlands is medium priority. Bramble, Borderlands, Buried Stars. Call of Cthulhu is like a Lovecraft horror game, kind of interesting. Captain Toad. I would maybe stream Captain Toad, just if I want like a chill puzzle game type thing, puzzle and chat. Chrono Trigger, I will definitely stream, and that is high priority. I really, really, really want to play Chrono Trigger. I hear so many good things about it. I think I would like it a lot. Planet, I would not. Cocoon, maybe. Puzzle game, that's like a one streamer. Corpse, Control. Oh, I do have Control in here. I should take that out because I'm waiting for until after I beat Alan Wake. Overarching narrative stuff is what tied everything together. People were getting tired of Desmond, which is fair, but the way they handled its departure was weird. Didn't help that the fans can't be appeased. Yeah, like there's gonna be groups on either side. So either the people who like the Desmond stuff are gonna be annoyed that you got rid of it, or the people who didn't like the Desmond stuff are gonna be annoyed because he keeps showing up. And it's like, I'm sure they have the data on their side of like what is more prominent, but yeah, it is what it is. Claim it on stream, please. Asking for a friend. It is my favorite anime of all time, but it is a 75-hour visual novel, and I have already made my stance on visual novels on stream pretty clear. So I don't think I would say that is a 99.9999% no. Gomen. Corpse Party, maybe. I've watched the anime. I've never played the game. I hear the game can be kind of annoying with how like much of a pain in the ass it can be to like solve certain puzzles. But the other thing is that I think that game kind of has a lot of questionable fan service, which also makes me a little hesitant to do it on stream. Maybe that would have to be a member stream, just so I don't have to deal with some of the annoyances. But not saying that people who aren't members are annoyances. I mean more random people showing up just to cause problems. You know what I mean. Crash Bandicoot, I would definitely be interested in playing. I know that's a hard platformer, but I played 3 on the PS1 when I was a kid, and I remember liking it. I have the whole trilogy plus 4 on PS4, so I would consider streaming that. I don't know if that's something people would want to see, but Chronos is the new like Dead Space inspired like action horror game from Bloober, who did Silent Hill 2 remake. So I am very keen on checking that out. I would stream that. It's probably not a very high priority though. That would be something where like if I have a couple weeks in October after I finish Silent Hill, maybe I would play this just as like another horror game. But I have it. It looks good. I actually don't have Crosscode anymore. Cryomakiden is a sequel to Crystar, so I shouldn't have that in there because I'd play Crystar first. Love and Deep Space. Gal's fighting over the new character. Yeah. I've heard the Love and Deep Space drama. It's crazy. Definitely play Crystar. It looks neat. It might be one of those things that's too niche for me to justify on stream. That's probably like a 1 to 2 viewer kind of thing. So I'm not quite sure about that, but more a spiritual successor. Gotcha. What's that third Cry game coming out this fall? Cry something. I have it in my watch list. Crime Light. They haven't announced a physical for that yet. It's still not clear if Phantom Blade Zero is... They haven't opened pre-orders for that game, and it supposedly comes out in 2.5 months. So I don't know if it's getting delayed again or what. But I was kind of interested in it. Alice in Wonderland inspired. Right. I remember seeing a video for it. Looked pretty good. Recently learned what happened with Calypso Protocol. Absolute greed. I played that on stream. I think the first year that I streamed. Like, it was probably summer of 2023. I didn't mind it. It definitely wasn't as good as Dead Space, but like, it wasn't terrible. Cuphead, I would consider streaming. Oblivion and I tried doing that co-op, but it was just so jank and unplayable online that I would just have to do that solo. I don't know when I would consider doing that, but I would consider it. Custom Robo Arena, I would consider. That's one of my favorite games of all time. It would be a replay, but I haven't played it in about 15 to 20 years, so I think it would be fun to revisit. There is a Custom Robo-inspired game coming out, though, this fall called Battlecore Robots or something like that. I have my eye on it. Cyberpunk is definitely a stream game, and I would say high priority. I really want to play that. I think I would get obsessed with it. I don't know when I'm going to have the time for it, but I very much want to play Cyberpunk. Be glad to send you your Leo Mugman for the thumbnail if you want it. If you wouldn't mind, that would be great. Although, you know, given my schedule, I might not get to that for another year or two, but it might be cool to use if you had it still. I'm going to go stir the sauce again. I think this is the last time I'll have to stir it, so I will be back again in like 30 seconds probably. BRB. Okay, I'm back. I should be clear of stirring the sauce from now on, so hopefully no more random breaks like that. Didn't they sell the ending of the game as DLC? Cyberpunk? I don't think so. I know it got a DLC expansion that was very well received. Phantom Liberty, I think it was called, but I don't think it was like the ending. Oh my god, you just made me realize I didn't have it in here. Another game I have. That I don't know why I didn't add it to the list, but I have Asura's Wrath. on PS3, which I've heard a lot of good things about. That game did sell the ending as DLC. And that's what just made me remember it when you said that. And I do have that DLC, so I do have the full game. So it looks like that is... looks like about 12 hours... 11 hours maybe to beat. I would stream that. I'm very interested in Asura's Wrath because I hear so many good things about that game. I forgot that I picked that up. You're a fan of that one, Kevin. Phantom Liberty adds an ending. Okay. Talking about Callisto Protocol. Oh, I'm actually not sure. I didn't play the DLC. I mean, it had an ending. It didn't feel like there wasn't an ending when I played it, but maybe the DLC had a more concrete ending. Daemon X Machina I'm pretty interested in, but I don't know if that's a game that people are actually keen on seeing. That's another like niche thing, I think, but it's mecha combat, mecha action RPG kind of thing. I like mecha. Makes me reminisce on my days with Custom Robo Arena. So I don't know. Danganronpa, probably not Ultra I mean, I would consider Ultra Despair Girls. This game had a cliffhanger. It was a bit of a cliffhanger, yeah. It wasn't like a terrible, terrible cliffhanger that I was just like, wow, this is shit. But it was a little bit of a cliffhanger, yeah. Do you have the Street Fighter crossovers? I don't think I have those. I think I could still get them. You know, the PS3 store doesn't go offline for another 10 months or whatever, and they were pretty cheap. I think what I got was like the big episode pack that had the actual ending of the game, and then I got like the 0.5 ones that are just like 15-minute animated things. But I don't think I have the crossover one. Like Titanfall. Titanfall is in the list. You will see it. Story of Daemon Machina is really bad, but the combat's fun. Haven't tried the sequel. The sequel, like, I remember the trailer looked like it put more effort into the story. I didn't play the first one either. Actually, it's on my list to get, but if the combat is really fun, I can overlook the story being eh. And likewise, if the story is really good, I can overlook the gameplay being kind of eh. Also, hello, Frost. Hope it's going well. Welcome. They're amazing. Asura gets to fight both Ryu and Akuma. It's so dope. What is Akuma from? Is he, Tekken? But if they're good, I can definitely pick them up. So whenever I play the game, I can see those. Dante's Inferno, I would like to play, and I would stream that. I wouldn't say it's a very high priority, but I never played it, and I think it looks cool. Dark Auction, I'm interested in, but I wouldn't stream it because of some of the content in it, I think. Oh, Akuma Street Fighter? Really? I guess the only characters I really know for Street Fighter is Ryu. Is there a guy named Ken? Is it Ryu and Ken are the two main guys? Is Cammy Street Fighter? And Chun-Li? Those are probably the only ones I know. Go through Street Fighter because Capcom. To your credit, Akuma was in... Oh, he was like a guest character? I thought the memes of Tifa being in Street Fighter, and then they made like cuck memes of... It's like that template where it's like the girl with the guy, and she's saying, "Is it okay?" And then there's a guy in a chair like nodding yes. And they edited it to be Tifa as the girl, and then Street Fighter is the guy who's getting with her, and Tekken is the guy watching. I was like, that's so funny. Because there's been so many rumors of her in Tekken for so long or whatever. And then she ends up in Street Fighter. Oh, M. Bison I've heard the name of. Dave the Diver, I streamed one time. And I liked it, but I never went back to it. So I would consider going back to it. Days Gone, I would consider streaming. I don't have any idea what Dead Estate is. Deadly Premonition, I would consider. So Death Stranding, I think, came up last time that I streamed this backlog thing. And if I remember correctly, I said something like, I feel like that wouldn't be a good stream game. And then multiple people were like, you should stream it. It's really good. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what the heck? I had no idea people actually like that. Or that people would actually watch that. So I'm a little hesitant in the sense of like, I don't know that it's a game that I would personally enjoy. So it could very much be a case of like Breath of the Wild or Three Houses recently, where after one stream I drop it. Because I'm not the type who's like gonna, like, I'm not gonna give a game 10 to 15 hours to catch my interest. I'm like, if this game does not catch my interest within one stream, whether that is a 3 to 5 hour stream or what, I'm not playing it a second time. If it does not, like, I'm not streaming it a second stream. If it does not catch my interest in the first stream. I've heard it described as a walking simulator, which I've heard it described as a fetch quest simulator, both of which I'm not super keen on. But I've heard the story is pretty interesting. That's a meme, yeah. I would watch it. Kojima's a visionary. Considering you like that game and the Metal Gear Solid games, I would be fairly confident that you're a big Kojima guy, eh? Hesitant as well. Hello, TK. I hope it's going well. I hear it gets good after 30 hours, and I'm told that's not a joke. See, I'm not giving it 30 hours. It could be the greatest game of all time, but I'm not giving it 30 hours. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Very hit or miss. Consistently good in my opinion, but it's slow. I guess I just think a lot about like the stream experience. Like if it's really slow and there's a whole lot of nothing going on, and it's not like interesting or fun for people to watch, is it really? Kevin's actually Jeff Keighley. I like Jeff Keighley a lot. I get bummed when people rag on him for stuff. Deus Ex Human Revolution. I guess I'll keep that as a maybe for now. I'll have to look into it more. Watch some reviews or something. Deus Ex Human Revolution, I remember playing on the PS3 and really enjoying what I played of it. So I would definitely consider streaming it. I think I would like it a lot if I did play it again, but I don't know if that's something that people would actually want to watch. Counterpoint, Pekrat. Right, Pekrat in 2. What's the name of the music? This is the Stellar Blade soundtrack. I just have in the background. Digimon Cyber Sleuth, I would like to play at some point. Same with Digimon Survive. Would I put it as a medium? Starlink. That's not the name of the song, if that's what you're asking. The song is called Taki Mode. But it was Stellar Blade is the game, if that's what you were asking. Not that there's not a whole lot of nothing going on, it's that there's a lot of time to ponder and reflect as an experience. It's something that should be experienced at least once. I'll have to share it with you. I'll keep it as a baby for now then, yeah. I'll have to look into it more and see if I think it's something I would enjoy. Alright, so Digimon Cyber Sleuth. I assume you should play Cyber Sleuth before Hacker's Memory, considering that Hacker's Memory has the same title, and then it's I don't know if you would like Survive. It's a VN and a tactical RPG. Is it voiced? If it's a voiced VN, it's doable. If the tactical RPG is very basic and I don't have to think about it a whole lot and I can just play it on easy, like for example, 13 Sentinels. I love 13 Sentinels. And that does have tactical RPG gameplay, but it's very basic. It's so basic that I didn't really need to think about it. and I could focus on the story, which I love. And I believe it was at least somewhat voiced. So if Survive is at least kind of voiced and the gameplay is pretty easy, I would probably still check it out. But if it's not voiced at all, you made it to the roof. I did make it to the roof. I finished the whole game. It was good. I enjoyed it. Cyber Sleuth needs a turbo button. Are the animations in the combat really slow? Can play either order, Hacker's Memory and Cyber Sleuth happen. Oh, they happen concurrently. Okay. How long after Cyber Sleuth did Hacker's Memory come out? I do get the meme now, yeah. Don't remember being voiced. I can boot it up later and double check. That's all good. I can just Google it. Does Digimon survive? It looks like there is some amount of voice acting, only in Japanese. But it's not clear if that is for everything or if it's just for little parts. Overworld walking is abysmally slow in dungeons. Like Metal Gear Solid 4, Death Stranding has a lot to say with commentary and thematic exploration, so it's something that is mentally worth biting into. Gameplay loop only serves the theme and message. Oh. So maybe that is, you know, I could kind of see that with like the lengthy walking, where you're just kind of like seeing the world, experiencing the world, giving you time to like think about it and what it might be trying to say. I could see that, yeah. Dino Crisis. I've heard good things about Dino Crisis. I've heard it's very like sorry, one sec. Okay, sorry. What's it talking about? Oh yeah, I've heard Dino Crisis is a good game. It's something that people want more of, like either a remake or a new game. That being said, I've also heard that it is... Oh, I like this. I think this is Belial. This soundtrack. I've heard that it's a tank control game, and we know how I feel about tank controls. So I really don't. I don't know. Is it that good? Is it overhyped? Am I just gonna get more pissed off about the tank controls than anything else? Changes in Kiwami 3 don't make sense. I've heard that they are very unpopular changes in the Kiwami 3 story. Yeah, I will get to it eventually, but probably not until after I catch up on all the other games. If after stream you go Death Stranding is utter dog shit and it's the worst game I've ever played, no biggie, not everybody gets something out of it. It definitely seems like it really depends on if it connects with you or not. Like the people who like it seem to really like it, and the people who don't like it seem to really not like it. Would you rant over my pod? No, no problem. I know that you like him a lot. I obviously like hearing people's opinions on stuff. Would you consider playing Ace Combat? I've never played one before. I would have to look into it. I don't know a whole lot about it. I think I might have like 7 or 6 on PC. But I've never played one, so I would have to watch some trailers and gameplay. I'll put Dino Crisis down as a maybe for now, I guess. Dishonored, I kind of go back and forth on. Donkey Kong, I've never actually like beaten a Donkey Kong. I don't know if I've played a Donkey Kong for more than like 5 minutes. I'm very hesitant on Bonanza because even though it was very well reviewed and people seem to really like it, based on what I've watched for gameplay, I don't know that I would like it. Which is crazy because I loved Odyssey and I hear it's from the Odyssey team. But I don't know. Every time I watch gameplay and I just see Donkey Kong like ripping up the environment, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see the appeal. So I'm a little skeptical. Maybe it would make more sense to play like Country Returns because that's like the classic Donkey Kong. I don't know. I'd have to look into it. Dragon Age Inquisition, I remember playing a little bit and liking, but I feel like that's too old and niche for people to actually be interested in. Veilguard, I am interested in, but that has a lot of controversy online and people like to dog on it, so I wouldn't stream it because I would just get annoyed. Dragon Age, Dragon Quest, I have never played a Dragon Quest, but I always hear good things about the series. I have a lot of them. I don't know what like a good entry point would be. I don't know if the 1 and 2 remake or the 3 remake, because I hear 1, 2, and 3 are all connected, but that 3 is a prequel, but it came out third. So it's like, I don't know if it makes sense to play 3 before 1 and 2 or to play them in release order. I've heard both opinions online when I Googled it, but I would be interested in trying them. I also have the remake for 7 that came out this year, and then 11, which is the most recent one. I don't know which one I would start with, but I am interested in checking the series out. So I don't know if anybody has played Dragon Quest that might have an opinion on it, but Dragon's Dogma 2 I don't have. I traded it in because I'm just going to get it when Dark Arisen comes out. Dragon's Crown I've heard good things about. I don't know a whole lot about it. I don't know if that's something that people like. I don't know if Dredge is something that would do well for me. The Miko game I would consider playing, because Miko is my Kami-Oshi. Don't know how long it is, but only played 11 and it was fun. There's 2 big things people love about Dragon's Crown. I've seen art. I can guess what those are. El Shaddai, again, it's like kind of niche. I don't know, but I might enjoy playing that as like a 1 or 2 off. Enjoy the Diner looks kind of interesting, but I don't really know if that's a good stream game. Atronge Overlord is probably just a me thing. Evil Within, I believe, is from the creator of Resident Evil, so I would like to check that out at some point because I've been liking the Resident Evil games quite a bit. I don't know when I would get to it, but I would like to play that, and I would stream that. Love me some Evil Within. I have to pick up the second one still. Far Cry, I have heard a lot of good things about Far Cry 3 in particular, so I would like to check that out at some point. I don't know if I would stream it though. Fatal 12 is a visual novel, probably just for me thing. Fear Effect is an old game that got remastered and is probably gonna tilt me, so I'd probably just do it at my own time. Japanese title is even better. For Evil Within, what is it? I have a bajillion Final Fantasy games on here. Tactics I had been really interested in, but after I played Three Houses that one time, I don't know about that. Final Fantasy VII I am actually currently playing, so I'm going to take that off the list. Just trying it in my own time. The remake I would definitely like to play, and I would say that is a high priority, but it has the precursor of I would either have to finish the original in my own time, or I would just have to watch a summary of the story and stuff before I play the remake. Final Fantasy X I would like to stream. Probably a lower priority than 7. 13 I would consider streaming, but I think that one is a lot more iffy for people, so I feel like 13 wouldn't do so well. I don't know. 15 I would also like to try. I would consider it, but it's not as high of a priority as 7 or 10. Evil Within is Psycho Break? That's a good name. Resident Evil in Japanese is Biohazard, right? Do you consider Far Cry 3? It's really good. I've heard it's really good. I know that the antagonist boss or whatever is supposedly pretty popular. All the Fire Emblem games. All right, so I don't freaking know, man. All of these I'm just gonna leave blank for now because I need to try Advance Wars in my own time. Whether all of these get removed from my list or get a maybe or yes is going to depend on how I feel about Advance Wars. But my Three Houses experience was not great, so I don't know. That also did way worse as a stream than I thought it would, which was really surprising because I thought Fire Emblem was popular enough, especially Three Houses, that like people would be interested. But like, I would have to double check the numbers, which again, it's not all about numbers, but like, I think that significantly underperformed most of my other games around that time. So I was like, damn. Not only am I overwhelmed and feeling iffy on the game, but also barely anybody is watching. So that was a strike against it too. Maybe it was just a down night. I don't know. Or maybe I overestimated Fire Emblem's popularity. US law wouldn't let them call it Biohazard because of a metal band. Already has a copyright. So Resident Evil was chosen because the first game mainly happens in a mansion. Oh. I had no idea. That's why they called it Resident Evil. That's cool. That's weird that you can't have a game called the same thing as a band, though. Like, it's not even the same industry. Copywriting the word Biohazard is crazy. Firewatch, I would stream as just a one-off, but it's not very high priority. Flare's game, Flare Nui Nui Quest, I would consider. Folklore is another one of those niche PS3 games that I've been interested in, that I hear is like a cult classic, that I would consider streaming. I think I recently heard that it's actually a 2-story game, though. Like, you can play as both protagonists and they each have their own story or something like that. So if it's actually a 50-hour game instead of a 25, then that's a much harder sell. But I don't know. Gears of War Remake, I would definitely like to play. I just don't know when. Gnosia visual novel that looks good, but I don't know if I would actually play it on... sorry. It looks good, but I wouldn't stream it, I don't think, because it's a visual novel. God of War Ragnarok, I will stream, and that is a high priority. I very much want to play it, especially with Lefay coming out in February. Got a release date. That just means you get the joy of buying it. Oh, you bought it on the wrong Steam account? You have multiple Steam accounts? I mean, I have multiple Steam accounts. I have my personal and my Leo account, but can you not, like, just family share with yourself? That's what I do. Like, I buy all my games on my personal account, but then I family share it with my Leo account. So my Leo account has access to pretty much everything from my main account. I think there's some games that don't. It's mostly, like, I think some EA and Ubisoft stuff, they don't let you share it. But outside of those companies, I think everything pretty much gets shared. Keep seeing Gravity Rush go on sale and I forget to buy it. I have played Gravity Rush. I played it on the Vita. I loved it. It was probably my favorite Vita game outside of like Danganronpa and Zero Escape. I would highly recommend it. That being said, it's one of those things that is old enough and niche enough that I have no idea how that would do as a stream. I have to imagine it probably wouldn't do very well. But I really liked the first one. And I've heard the second one is really good too. So I would probably be iffy on streaming it myself. I would consider the first one, replaying the first one just to see, but I used my childhood Steam account as my Cashew account to avoid this. You just renamed it as Cashew once you became Cashew. Gonna head out and get some food. Take care if I don't see you. Sounds good, boy. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoy just chilling and listening. Enjoy your food. I don't know. It doesn't matter that much, but it slightly bums me out. I mean, you could rebuy it, but yeah, that's an extra like $10. Greece, I've heard good things about. I would consider streaming. That's a one streamer, which is pretty easy. Rune, I believe that was a recommendation from Frost that is supposedly good. That's probably like a one streamer as well. I have my usual Frost one, and I have one from the old YouTube days. I don't know how I ended up on that one. Oh, so you bought it on that one. Gotcha. And I assume you like played it and then realized after, so it was outside of the refund period. Guardians of the Galaxy, I hear, is Actually really good. Hades, I will play. That is definitely going to be a stream game. But I kind of want to play Pyre first, just because I've played Bastion and Transistor already, and that would go through their games in order, but it's obviously not related, so I could play it whenever I want. Half-Life is a classic that I've never played, so I think it would be good to play at some point and see what the hype is all about. I don't know how well it holds up nowadays. I think there's a remake of Half-Life called Black Mesa that is supposedly really good, so I'd probably be a little more inclined to play the remake instead. But then if I go to Half-Life 2, it's probably going to feel really old and jank compared to Black Mesa, as opposed to if I play the original and then go Half-Life 2, so... but either way, I mean, it's a classic, so I'd like to see what the hype's all about. Half-Life I'd definitely recommend. Sorry if I just triggered any yawns. Hexseed and Hexcells. I've played a couple Hexcells games. I really like them. They're good for just a puzzle stream and chat kind of thing. Hexseed is a similar game from a different developer. I mean, I would consider streaming them if I just wanted a random thing to do. Hitman, I would consider streaming. I've been recommended it. I've been told people think I would like it. But I have never played a Hitman. Hollow ADV, I would consider. Hollow vs. Robo, I would consider. Horizon Forbidden West. I played the first one. I liked it. I haven't played the second one yet. I don't know if I would stream it because I don't know how much interest there really is in it. It is like 5 years old at this point. 5 or 6, 4 or 5 years old. It's also kind of long, but I'm sure it's fun. Eco, I would consider streaming. Definitely helps that it's so short. Infamous, I would consider. I know that game is pretty classic from the PS3 days. I never played it myself. Incident in Galley House, it's probably super niche, but I'm really interested in it. Inside, I've heard good things about. Is the Seat Taken is a puzzle game. I don't know if I would stream it, though. Iwahime is a visual novel that I thought looked interesting. Jak and Daxter, I would stream. I am interested in giving that series a shot. I've never played it. Katamari, Kimono Tea Time. I've heard Kimono Tea Time can definitely be a Waterworks kind of game. Canterbridge of Spirits, I've heard good things about. I don't really know if that's a stream game, but it looks pretty neat. Kirby, I would definitely consider streaming all of those. Shout out to Infamous Second Son for the Native American representation. Oh, is the main character Native American, or is there just a big side character that is? Infamous, Jak and Daxter too. Alright. Fan of all of those, eh? Legacy of Kain. I've heard really good things about that game. It's another one that's like insanely... It's old. It's a remaster of like a 20-year-old game. 20 to 25-year-old game. So I don't know how popular that would be or how interested people would be. I know Malachi likes that series a lot, but I don't know. Supposedly the story's good. All of the Zelda games. So again, I played some Breath of the Wild. I did one stream of it. The stream did well. There was a lot of people hanging out. It was super chatty. I had a good time chatting with everybody. That being said, I did not have a whole lot of fun with the game itself. So I've tried this game twice now. I tried it on the original Switch when it first came out. I tried it on the Switch 2. I don't know. After 2 tries, do I just give up on it? I don't think I would go back to it on stream. I would probably have to give it a 3rd shot in my own time. I have heard, that Breath of the Wild is a big departure from classic Zeldas. So I don't know if maybe I would like some of the classic Zeldas more. I don't know if it's like, well, you didn't like Breath of the Wild, so you're probably not going to like any of these. I did like Wind Waker when I played it as a kid. I didn't finish it, but I liked it. I played Phantom Hourglass on the DS, and I did beat that. again as a kid, and I liked that. So maybe it's just that like the more classic Zelda experience is better for me compared to the newer stuff. But I don't know. I had multiple issues with Breath of the Wild. Main character is nice. Always good to see some representation. Oh, I love this song from Stellar Blade. You really don't see a whole lot of Native American rap. Jack and Daxter was my childhood. Good memories of Infamous. R.I.P. Breath of the Wild. Definitely enjoy the older ones. Well, I'll throw a maybe on all these other ones then. Oops. Why is it copying a blank spot? Lego games might be more of a me thing. Limbo, I would play Limbo. Live Alive, I've heard. I don't know if it's Live Alive or Live Alive, but I've heard good things about that game. And it's not very long for a JRPG. I have no idea what Look Outside is. Troopers, Lost and Found, Luigi's Mansion. That doesn't help, Oblivion. That doesn't help. Luigi's Mansion is a maybe. The fuck is Lobotomy Corp? I've heard so much about it. I thought it was a gacha or something the way I see people talk about it. I think it is. Or maybe there's another game in that series called Limbus Company. Maybe that's the gacha. And Lobotomy Corp isn't. But I hear a lot of good things about this. I think can't believe I'm blanking on his name right now. I feel embarrassed. Waygin. I think Waygin is a big fan of that series. I'm pretty sure before Uma, that's what he did videos on. I see it coming up. I would watch Mad World. That's like I picked that up recently. I saw it at GameStop, and I was like, I remember seeing this as a kid and thinking like, whoa, that looks crazy. It's only 6 hours. Like I could do that in one stream probably. That might be fun. It's just like an oldie that I never played. Look Outside is a cool short RPG, Eldritch horror theme. I gotta look at my Steam library. I mean, apparently I have it. Look Outside. Overwhelming positive from 9,000 reviews. Survival horror RPG set in a single apartment building. A mysterious event turns anyone who looks out the window into a grotesque monster, leaving the world in absolute chaos. Scavenge the building to seek food, supplies, and weapons while encountering strange characters. Plan tense expeditions outside your apartment as you fend off grotesque monsters dwelling in and around your building. Return to your home with guided resources and partial answers to your questions to recuperate by playing games, making dinner, crafting tools, and getting to know your neighbors turned allies. Is this an RPG Maker game? Kinda looks like it. 10 to 12 hours of playtime with a dozen boss encounters, friends to recruit, visitors to invite back in your home. Best RPG pixel horror currently available, says one review. Neat. I do appreciate a good short RPG. Might be a newer RPG Maker version. I'm not actually sure if it is. Just when I was looking at the screenshots, I was like, that kind of looks like RPG Maker. Max Payne 3, go for it. I've heard good things about Max Payne. Made of the Dead, I think, has a essentially an R18 patch. throw a maybe on Look Outside. I can look into that a little more. Loopers is a pretty short visual novel, I think. Mario and Luigi, I would hold off on for now. Guardians of the Galaxy. Did Guardians of the Galaxy come up before already? Did. I have it on here twice. Stupid. Midnight Suns, I would consider, since it seems like people like that a lot. Spider-Man, I would definitely consider because I remember liking the first one a lot, but I played a little bit of Miles, I never finished it, so I would definitely consider finishing Miles and then going to Spider-Man 2 after the fact. Mass Effect Andromeda, I've heard it's better after the patches and stuff. I liked the Mass Effect 2 and 3 a lot. Raincode, I did stream. Did very, very poorly as a stream, so I would probably play that in my own time. Max Payne 3 I've heard good things about. Mega Man, I would probably stream, but I'm still wary of how much I might potentially tilt. Medieval is a remake of a classic game that I would consider. Megaton Musashi, I think that was like a cool looking mech combat game. I think it has like a Corone voice pack too. MGS Snake Eater, I would consider. Metro 2033, I would like to play at some point. Middle-earth Shadows of Mordor, I would consider. I like Lord of the Rings a lot. Minds Beneath Us, I think that was a really well-reviewed indie RPG. Let me double check on that. Overwhelming positive reviews as well. Embark on a thrilling sci-fi journey in a futuristic Asian city with minds beneath us. In a society fully automated by advanced AI, you find yourself trapped in a foreign body alongside the subconscious of the original owner. As society evolves, an industry emerges that replaces the hardware needed to operate AI automated systems with human brains. Consequently, the most disadvantaged citizens have had no choice but to sign up one after another. Against the backdrop of this mad society, a conspiracy gradually unfolds. By far the best sci-fi visual novel I've played. Thrilling plot, interesting dialogue, lovely art style. Some issues with the English translation, but overall the game is great. Enjoyable story, kind of meta. Recommend if you like cyberpunk mystery. Oh, it looks pretty neat. Me side, I would definitely consider streaming at some point. Mouthwashing, I've heard is good, but I've also heard that like backseating and chatters for that can be kind of unbearable. So I don't. Did you stream that, Cashew? I forget. Maybe Nivi streamed it. This is actually still the Stellar Blade soundtrack, TK. I have a lot of songs from it. The specific song that just played was called Providence. Still from that soundtrack. This song that's currently playing is actually the last Stellar Blade song I have in this playlist. We've gone through like almost 24. Crazy. It was good for me? Okay, well, I'll put that down as a maybe then. New Super Mario Bros. I would consider. Ni no Kuni I've heard a lot of good things about. Night in the Woods I've also heard is good, but I've also had people say that might be better as a not stream game. Partially due to like the subject material and stuff. I guess it can get pretty dark. Adventure game focused on exploration, story, and character, featuring dozens of characters to meet and lots to do in a lush, vibrant world. Nukitashi. Yeah, that's not going on stream. I think I actually started that in my free time a couple of months ago. I might have played it for like an hour or two, and I was like, oh, this is something. Noelle the Mortal Fate I'm interested in, and I've put that on polls multiple times, and I think it usually gets 0 votes, so that's not getting streamed, unfortunately. No More Heroes, I traded in. I don't have that anymore. No, I'm Not a Human could be fun as a one-off game. Night in the Woods I would still consider. Ni no Kuni I thought was pretty fun. There were a couple difficulty spikes, but it's been over a decade since I played. Yeah, I guess I would wonder if there's a lot of grinding or not. Octopath Traveler, I've heard a lot of good things about this franchise in general. I think 2 is the one I'm most interested in. I don't know how important it is to play the others. I'm kind of under the impression that each one is like its own thing. Which is why I have them all listed, but Leo quietly skipped over Nekopara. I think y'all got enough of Nekopara from Cashew. Night in the Woods is great, but it is a lot of reading. I didn't realize there was that much dialogue, and that it wasn't voice acted. Of the Devil, I think looks really cool. It looks kind of like a Danganronpa Ace Attorney thing. It is still releasing though, like it's an indie game and it's coming out in episodes. So I think like episode 2 just came out or something, or maybe episode 3 just came out. But it looks really cool. Can I pull up a trailer somehow? Can we watch a trailer? Also, hello Cameron, hope it's going well. I've only played the original, so I'm not sure if they connect. Did you like the original? Yeah, that's not gonna work. I feel like nobody has heard of the Devil. Liked it a lot. Okay. True Ending took a lot of grinding. Ugh. Damn it. That's always a knock. Why is it humongous? Here's Of the Devil in case anybody has not heard of it. I think it looks really good. It's like, it definitely looks like Danganronpa crossed with Ace Attorney. You play as like the lawyer. So you have to like investigate, you get clues, you do the trial. This trailer is not the one I had watched before. You're like picking the clues you want to call them out on or whatever. You are a 3D space that you investigate, very Danganronpa. Cool art style. But again, it doesn't have voice acting or anything, which means you have to read everything. I don't know. I think it looks really, really neat. September 20th Hollow Trials. Really looking forward to that. Ah, yes. The Hololive Ace Attorney. What do I want to put on now? Ooh. Hey, it's the song I used in my second anniversary video. I rewatch that video every once in a while. I really like that. Okami, I will definitely play at some point. I've heard a lot of good things about that. They got the Okayu visual novel. I would not stream that. Omori, I would like to play, and I would stream that. I already have art. I commissioned art to play that, or for that thumbnail, like over a year ago, and I haven't even used it because I haven't got it scheduled. Do I have it saved, actually? I could just show you. Mermaid Mask is... Oh, I've heard really good things about Mermaid Mask. Yeah. Mermaid Mask is the second game in that series, right? I'll be back. Sounds good, TK. Boom, 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 Why am I not logged into VGen? Somebody followed me. Why? Haven't played Collie Splash or Origami King, but you can't go wrong with Thousand Year Door. Yeah, I played that one a little bit on the GameCube. And I remember liking it a lot. I didn't finish it as a kid, but yeah, I don't know much about the other two. Opus Prism Peak, I hear. I think I would really like the game. It's probably a cry one. Same thing with Echo of Starsong. So I don't know how much interest, again, there is in those, but... Oh, this is Blue Archive soundtrack. Mermaid Mask is the third. Oh, it's the third. What are the other ones? Oh, Tangle Tower. That's one of them. I think I have that in this list, actually. All right, let's see. Blue Archive. I want to listen to something else. Oh, yeah. How about this one? Detective Grimoire. Oh, Detective Grimoire is actually one of the games. Gotcha. Persona Go Head On. Oh, yeah. I got multiple Persona games in here. Hey, it's not Friday night. What? Sunday afternoon is kind of similar, though, right? It's not that far off. Downloads. Damn, I don't know which one is which. Hey, look, it's Leo Omori. It's even animated. Yeah, I've had this for, I think, over a year, because I was like, oh, I want to play Omori. And then I just haven't actually played it. So I haven't had a reason to use this and put it in a thumbnail. It's one of the only times I've actually commissioned an art, like, specifically for a thumbnail. So I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. So one of these days, I gotta get that on my schedule so I can actually use the art. And I got different versions of it, too, with, like, different emotions. Like, that's just the classic neutral one, but then I have, like, I got, there's happy. And there's Smile. And there's Blush. Why is that one humongous? What the heck? What in the world? Look at that. Embarrassed, blushing Leo. Oh my goodness. Complimented me a little bit too much. I noticed the color switches a little bit on this one, which is interesting, but either way, I mean, I would be using it as a thumbnail picture, so it's not animated anyway. Big shy Leo. Yeah, this is like Leo IRL. Big shy. Why did it get super small? What? I went back to the other one? What the heck? Anyway. Yeah, I got all those commissioned, and I just have not had a chance to use them yet. Hey, we have the Expedition 33 soundtrack going now. How about some more Yakuza, though? Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Really happy with the art I'm working on every time I zoom out. Hey, very nice. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Whatever it is. Help you post it in Discord. Cute. Never used the animated thumbnails? That ain't a thing. Silly goose. Paradise Killer, I think looks really neat. That's another detective game, but I don't know if that would really do well as a stream, so I'd have to think about that one. Path of Mystery visual novel I think looks pretty good, but again, visual novel, so not on stream. Paranormal Site is one of the few visual novels I would consider doing on stream. I played the first Paranormal Site. I really liked it. They came out with a sequel earlier this year. I have not had a chance to play it yet, but I would definitely consider streaming it. Again, potentially a good, like, October Halloween type thing. Peggle, yes, I would stream it. That would be a very chill Sunday type thing. The Persona dancing games, I would not. Persona Tactica, I would, but very low priority. Ace Attorney, I would consider. We've talked about that before. I'm hesitant because of the visual novel aspect. Welcome back, TK. YouTube definitely has them and not replace video preview. Really? I've never seen one. Picayune Dreams, I don't remember what that is. Pictopix, Pikmin, I would like to stream at some point, but that would be low priority. The Pokemon games, yes, I will stream Black and White. I will stream Y. I will stream Ultramoon. Those would all be medium priority. That last message was 100% not sarcasm. I'll believe it when I see it, I guess. Pony Island, I've had recommended to me a couple times. That supposedly would be a good, like, one-off type game, so I would say I would stream it. Just when I have a day that I feel like, yeah, whatever, I'll just throw that on the schedule. Portal 2, I would definitely stream. I've heard a lot of good things about Portal 2. I've played the co-op for Portal 2. I've played Portal 1, but I've not played Portal 2 single player. So... Professor Layton, yes, I will definitely play another Professor Layton game. I've wanted to get it in the schedule. I don't know when yet. I guess Pyre is probably more of a maybe than a definite, but I would like to do Pyre. Prey, I've heard good things about. I think I played like an hour of it when I was in college. So... a long time ago. But I don't really know too much. Raging Loop, horror visual novel that I think looks pretty good. Radiant Historia, I've heard good things about. Ratchet and Clank, yes. I would definitely like to play the OG Ratchet and Clank. What did I put for Jack? I'll put it at the same priority as that, medium. Rayman, I have definitely thought about. Probably doesn't really matter the order. Origins technically came first, so I'd probably play that first. I would consider streaming it. Red Dead 2 is definitely a stream game, high priority. I really want to play it. I always hear good things about it. I really liked Red Dead 1. RE4 Remake, yes, definitely getting streamed, high priority. Probably one of the highest of priorities. Return of the Obra Dinn, I would definitely like to stream. I don't think it would do very well, but I'm just personally interested in it. Raging Loop isn't the Werewolf Time Loop game. I feel like there's multiple games that might fit. Let's see. Werewolf self-seduction game. Right, yeah. I think either Nocia might be like that. Alright. The description for Raging Loop says, immerse yourself in a thrilling psychological horror story taking place in the secluded Japanese village of Yasumizu. A heavy mist surrounds the village, preventing everyone from ever leaving. Ancient gods have come back to hunt the villagers down one by one. The feast has begun. Can you escape the village alive? Oh, never mind. There is a werewolf. Haruaki Fusaishi is a young man freshly arrived to Yasumizu, a remote settlement in a mountainous region in Japan. He will become involved in an ominous local tradition known as the Feast. Among the villagers lurks the werewolf, an entity that is sworn to take revenge on everybody. Keep track of your choices thanks to a flowchart. Rewind the story and select other actions to see different outcomes and learn about characters' motivations. A death may be rewarded with a piece of information, a key that will give you access to new paths and bring you closer to the identity of the killer. Clear the game to unlock Revelation Mode and discover the story in a new light. You'll see the inner thoughts of the characters and unlock new scenes that give you more insights about their motivation. So that is... apparently it is a werewolf thing, but it is not... So let me see the description for Nocia. The Nocia pretending to be human, they get in close, trick and deceive, and eliminate one victim at a time. The crew of a drifting spaceship facing off against a mysterious and deadly threat known as the Nocia and having no idea who among them is really the enemy, formulate a desperate plan for survival. The most suspicious among them will be put into cold sleep one by one in an effort to rid the... Oh, okay, so Nocia is more like Among Us. A sci-fi social deduction RPG where you'll engage in discussion with a variety of characters, identify the Nocia, use what information you can gather during discussions to ascertain who they think is the Nocia, vote to put them in cold sleep. As you progress, your abilities will improve, but so will that of the crew. See, if that was voice acted, I would consider playing that on stream. Oh, you've played Raging Loop, Frost, have you? It is the one I thought of. That's not safe for work in a couple of parts? Really? I don't remember that being said on the Steam page. Uh-oh. They're just hiding that? And yes, TK, exactly. It's fighting through the Dojima music. Let's see you, TK. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Oh, yes. There is a mature content description. Cruel violence scenes, abuse and murder, sexual episodes and settings, vulgar humor are included, but mildly expressed as text or indirect graphics. All right. Rise of the Ronin, I would consider playing. I do enjoy my, samurai action exploration games like Ghost of games. River City Girls, I've heard good things about. I don't really know a whole lot about beat 'em ups. I've never really played a whole lot, but looks interesting. Sonabi, I've heard a lot of good things about. Sakura Wars, I'm interested in, but I don't know how that would do as a stream. Saros is a relatively recent first-party exclusive PS5 game, sequel to Returnal, or a spiritual successor to Returnal. I played some of Returnal. I thought it was cool, but I kind of sucked at it, so I stopped playing. Seems like Saros mitigates that a little bit because you actually get permanent upgrades as opposed to temporary. So it would probably be a little easier to get through. The Scott Pilgrim game, I've heard good things about. I liked the anime. I think it might be fun to play. Schrodinger's Call, I would consider playing, even though it's a visual novel, just because it's kind of short and I think I would like it. Sea of Stars, I am interested in for sure. Shadow of the Colossus, yes, I would stream that, but not a super high priority. SMT Vengeance, I would consider. I know that those games are harder than Persona, and also they don't have as much story as Persona, so those are both a little bit of detriments to me, but still interested. Devil Survivor, also interested. I would maybe stream that. Shootin' Order, I don't know that I would stream that. It's another game from the same creators who did Danganronpa and Zero Escape, their studio, same one that does 100 Line. But I don't know how that would be as a stream. Signalis I would stream. I feel like that would be interesting. Not super high priority, but Siren Blood Curse, I've heard pretty decent things about. Might be interesting to check out at some point. Slay the Spire, I would like to check out. I always hear good things about Slay the Spire. These are just games that I currently own. Orbitals is a game that I am interested in. I remember the trailer, the first trailer for that looked pretty good. But yeah, these are just games that I currently own. Sleeping Dogs, I've heard good things about. I would consider that. Sly Cooper, I would definitely play at some point. Soul Hackers, I've heard iffy things about. Spec Ops The Line, I would consider. I've heard good things about. Spirit Hunter. So this is a visual novel, a horror visual novel, that I did play a couple times the first year that I streamed. I thought the story was pretty neat. I got jump scared a few times, but again, one, shredded my voice because it is all just reading. Two, those streams did terrible. So once again, kind of just lending evidence to, yeah, visual novels tend to not really do so hot when it comes to stream games. Granted, that is, again, a smaller one, a little more niche, but the bigger ones, like a Danganronpa or an Ace Attorney, might do a little better. But either way, they struggle for being something that people would actually be interested in. I have not played any of the Spyro games, but I've heard good things about them. Star Ocean, I've never played any, but again, I'm interested in the franchise. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, I would definitely be interested in. I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I will definitely stream that one. Star Fox, now that the remake is out, I would probably get that when it's on sale or something. Or if I can get it as a good deal from like a GameStop trade-in or something. Stories from Souls, another visual novel that I think looks pretty good, like a sci-fi thriller. Suikoden, I've heard good things about, but I think that's probably too niche to stream. The Mario games in general, I would like to play through. Probably starting from the oldest ones and moving forward. But I would just start with 64 and work my way up. The Sword Art games, again, I like the Sword Art series. I think I would probably get kind of annoyed if any sword art haters came in and started being annoying in chat. I would have to definitely be doing some muting and blocking and banning of people if there were people like that. But I'm interested in the series. Out of most of these, Fractured Daydream is probably the only one I would actually consider streaming. Because it's the shortest and seemingly the easiest to get into. The System Shock remake looks pretty cool. I've never played the original, but I've heard it's a classic, so it would probably be cool to check out. I think Fallen Order is the one that has the Souls-esque combat, yeah. I don't think it's, like, meant to be as hard as anything Souls-related, so I don't think I would, like, get Omega tilted or anything like that. But I have heard that it is definitely Souls-inspired, yeah. Ordering food and I get a message about a deal they have going on, but when I try to use it, the app is like, this location doesn't honor that. Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Hey, yeah, we're going to send out this message or email to everybody who subscribes to the list, but it's actually only for a certain area. Like, wow, thanks. It's probably just something where it's like they send you that and you're like, oh, okay. So you go through the app or the order process and then you get to check out and it's like, oh, actually, we don't honor that. And they just hope that you're just like, well, I already got to this point, so I might as well just hit place order. Like a deceptive marketing tactic or something. Tales from the Borderlands I've heard is really good. I heard the sequel sucks, though. New Tales from the Borderlands or whatever. But I heard the first one is good. The Tales games I am definitely keen on trying. Tangle Tower, again, same thing. Interested in that. Coffin of Andy and Lele, I kind of want to see because I always hear about it. I have Evil Within on here twice again. That being said, I would definitely not stream that casually. That would be a members only stream if I ever did stream it. Forgotten City I've heard is good. Grisaya is a visual novel, so no. Fata Morgana I hear is phenomenal. One of like the all-time, if not the all-time best visual novel, but too long, too much reading. That's my own time thing. There's a lot of visual novels here. The Ladder's a visual novel. The Order I would consider, that's a short game, easy to do in like 2 streams, maybe 1 super long stream. The Quarry, I think I would stream, but a low priority. Quintuplets visual novel. Root Trees Are Dead is another detective game. Seance at Blake Manor seems like a really neat detective game. Seki Mea, I think, is a detective visual novel. I have no idea what The Shell is. Oh, I think that's a visual novel. Song of Saya, that's another members thing if I ever stream that. Talos Principle, I heard, is pretty good for puzzle games. The Witcher is definitely a stream game, but it is insanely long, so I have to have a big period where I can commit to that. Told me beforehand, so I'm not ordering from there. That's totally fair. I wouldn't either if I got screwed like that. Titanfall 2, definitely a stream game. I've been asked about that a hell of a lot. To the Moon, I've been asked about a lot. So that I would stream. Tomb Raider is definitely a stream game. Very interested in playing through the modern trilogy. Trails I'm currently playing, so I'm going to remove that. I've heard good things about Tokyo Xanadu. Tunic. So I had been interested in Tunic, and then I watched a couple of video reviews of it, and I was like, wow, I think this game would piss me off like nothing else. I am massively reconsidering even having this on the list. I might just remove it entirely. Oh, you're back. I thought you meant you had to go for the whole day. Welcome back. Until then, I am super interested in. I think I would absolutely love that game. pretty niche indie game. I don't know if people would actually be interested in watching it, but I think it looks really good. I think I would love it. I think I would probably cry. Valhalla, I've heard good things about. Valkyria Chronicles, I probably should remove from the list. Valkyrie Elysium, Vampire Survivors, I don't know. Vanquish, I would consider streaming. Dead or Alive, Venus Vacation Prison, maybe as a members thing. I don't have this anymore. Actually, I might have it digital. I'd have to double check. Xenoblade, I would consider streaming, but very good chance I end up dropping that after one stream, just like I did with Zelda and Fire Emblem. So I'm a little more hesitant with that compared to trying on my own time, but also it's really long. Also, it's niche. A lot of debuffs with that game. Yoshi's Crafted World. I liked the Kirby Crafted game, so maybe Yoshi. 16 hours, though. I don't know. It's kind of long for a Yoshi game. You and Me and Her, I hear, is a really good visual novel, and also one of those ones that you absolutely should be going into blind. I don't know why I only have East 10 in here. I should also have 8 and 9. Oh, what? It's right there. What am I, blind? All right, added that. That looks like that's not that long. 40. Oh, these games are kind of reasonable for a JRPG. Zero Escape 999 I would definitely consider. I really liked Virtue's Last Reward. Zero Time Dilemma was decent, but I hear really good things about 999. Again, it's just a lot of reading out loud, but is that everything? Oh my god. We made it through the whole list and it's only 440. Hey, good work. How do I add a filter by value? All right. So those are all the ones that I said are yes, definitely stream games. So we had Alan Wake, Amnesia, Asura's Wrath, Bioshock Infinite, Blueprints, Borderlands, Chrono Trigger, Chronos, Cyberpunk, Dante's Inferno, Digimon, Evil Within, Final Fantasy 7 and 10, Firewatch, Gears of War, God of War, Hades, Jack and Daxter, Limbo, Mega Man, Metro, Okami, Omori, Paper Mario, Peggle, Persona 5 Tactica, Pikmin, Pokemon Black and White 2, Ultra Moon and Y, Pony Island, Portal 2, Professor Layton, Ratchet and Clank, Red Dead 2, Resident Evil 4, Return of the Obra Dinn, Shadow of the Colossus, Signalis, Slay the Spire, Sly Cooper, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Mario 64, The Quarry, Witcher, Titanfall 2, To the Moon, Tomb Raider, and Yakuza 4. That's a pretty dang good list when you look at it all together. Everything has a priority assigned. If I take away the yes and go to maybe, why didn't it apply? And we have a lot of maybes, too. Pretty good. Ah! Stellar Blade Providence music sounds like it. Oh, Tekken, does it? Come do some upcoming games? I did that yesterday. I did that at the end of my stream yesterday when I was just chatting about stuff. Let us see. All right. Well, not everybody was around when I was doing my schedule planning, so I can try and re-go through that a little bit. The short list for upcoming games, stuff that I have pre-ordered that I am definitely going to be playing pretty much right away. Silent Hill Townfall, Onimusha, Persona 4. I have some other stuff pre-ordered that could be cool to get to at some point. Some other stuff I'm thinking about pre-ordering, but those are the only upcoming stuff that I am like locked in on. All right, let's get another window capture here. Get me some GIMP. Let's try and plan things out, shall we? You go chronologically follow Shadow of the Colossus? Really? What is this song playing? Oh, this is another... Ah, okay, yep. Expedition 33. Let's listen to some Skyrim. Skyrim sounds good. Okay. What have you got upcoming that you're pumped for, Oblivion, if anything? I know Splatoon you've been into. I know that you are interested in orbitals. All right, so first of all, red. Cross out stuff that, you know, what is it? Whatever. We've already gone through all these months. Duskfade. What is Duskfade? Did you tell me about that before? It sounds kind of familiar, but I can't place it. Shadow of the Colossus feels like Attack on Titan, but much slower. I could see that. You're fighting the giant enemies. So August. We are on August 2nd. I did, but you forgore. No. I am gone all of these days because I'm traveling and I'm at the convention and whatnot. I'm assuming this is Thanksgiving, so I don't think I would be streaming that day. This is Christmas, so I wouldn't be streaming that day. Oh, Halloween's on a Saturday. Some dates to note to keep an eye on. August 30th, right here, is my birthday. So I don't know if I'll stream or if I'll just take the day off. If I do stream, I don't know if it would be a birthday stream or if I would just do a normal stream and just not really mention it. February 11th up here is my anniversary. So I will definitely have an anniversary stream that day. If there is Anime Awards, it would be either Saturday the 13th or 20th of February. I was going into the numbers on Anime Awards, and boy, do I have a... I think the numbers were something like, for me to do Anime Awards next year, I have to watch 7 to 8 episodes of anime every single day from now until the middle of January on every day that I don't stream, on every day that I don't stream at night, which is Wednesday, Thursday. So 5 days a week from today until the middle of January, I have to watch 7 to 8 episodes of anime every single day. That is the only way I can catch up. That sounds pretty unrealistic because that's 2 to 3 hours of anime every day. The only way to lower that is to remove anime from the list, which I don't want to do because then it would be a less holistic anime awards. And that means I am not nominating things that I think are worth nominating. It means I'm not giving awards to things that potentially could have won. And I don't like doing that. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it right, which means watching everything I want to watch. I would have the option of delaying anime awards into September, like doing it in March, on like March 13th or 20th. And that gives me another month, which, then instead of having to be done watching stuff in the middle of January, I can be done watching in the middle of February. That's a whole extra month to watch stuff, which is pretty nice. However, on February 18th, 1 week after my anniversary, on that day, Persona 4 comes out, the remake. And y'all better believe that when Persona 4 comes out, I am on that. And it is going to be my Saturday game for the rest of February, all of March, all of April, all of May, all of June, probably part of July. Maybe even into August, depending how long it takes. So... Kingdom Hearts inspired game by... Oh, that does sound familiar. Right. Maybe it got compartmentalized because Kingdom Hearts is one of those series that I just don't really have interest in, but given that you are a big Kingdom Hearts fan, I'm sure that is super exciting for you. You got this. I wish I had this. It's okay, in my heart of hearts, Singray sweep. Yeah, we've kind of lost our chance on that, given that would have been last year. Or this year's Anime Awards. But I think Cinderella Grey definitely would have won something if I had to guess. I don't know what it would have been. It certainly would have been nominated for a lot of things at the very least. Off the top of my head, it would have been nominated for drama, protagonist, supporting character, cast, girl, guy, soundtrack, specific soundtrack, song, animation, voice acting, story, episode, sequel or spin-off, and probably anime of the year. I think it would have showed up in all of those. I don't know which ones it would have won because I have not watched enough to really say, but at the very least, I'm sure it would have nominated for all of those. It would have had a very good performance. The other show that I watched that I think would have done really well is To Be Hero X. I don't know if anybody has watched that, but I thought To Be Hero X was really good. Like, again, off the top of my head, spitballing, that would have been nominated for action, maybe drama, maybe protagonist, antagonist, supporting, cast, soundtrack, specific soundtrack, maybe opening, insert song, specific insert song, art, animation, character design, voice acting, male and female, story, underrated, anime of the year, episode. Like, it would have showed up for all of those. I can almost guarantee it. It was so good, and nobody ever talks about it. Goodbye, TK. Anyway, that was a tangent. Okay. So what else? What else? Let's get purple up in here for Trails, shall we? So if I look at my current schedule, Trails is going to continue to be the Wednesday game. I would say for the rest of August, and probably a good chance that it is the Wednesday game for most of September, if not all of it. If we look, let's change the color to pink here. So on the 24th, that's not pink. On the 24th, the new Silent Hill comes out, which I will play. So I don't want to wait, so I'll probably play that on Friday. And then ideally that moves to Wednesday. So the only way that moves to Wednesday is if I finish Trails by the 23rd, which it gives me 7 more Trails streams. Given that I'm 4 in and I'm still on chapter 1 out of 4, I don't think that's very likely. So I don't know where that's going to go. If I finish Trails in time, that goes to Wednesday. If I don't finish Trails in time, I'm going to have to just keep doing it Friday, which I don't normally stream Friday, but I will have to force it in because I don't want to wait. I want to play it right away. So I don't have a whole lot of choices there. But I think there's a very good chance that Trails is going to take me, unless I get really efficient, probably into October. Silent Hill should only be a 3-stream game. I should be able to finish that relatively quickly. Let's go for this like teal color. Also coming out on September 4th, that Friday, Onimusha comes out. So Onimusha, I'm probably going to get on right away. They say that's a 20-hour game unless you do a lot of side content, so I could see that being a 5-week game for me. Hey, it's that Resident Evil song where you play as Tank, and I got insanely tilted. After I finish Onimusha, it will be early October. And since October is horror month, I would probably want to play a horror game, so I'm thinking probably Resident Evil 4 Remake would become the next Saturday game. That will probably take me into the first week of November if I had to guess. How far out can I realistically plan this? Thursdays, just assume that that's going to continue to be some type of collab. Right now we're playing Back 4 Blood. Given the amount of missions in Back 4 Blood, that's probably going to be like another 3 minimum, maybe 4 streams to finish, and then I don't know what comes after that, but you can probably safely assume that Thursdays are more or less locked for some type of collab. Outside of my anniversary, I am obviously going to executive decision and do my anniversary on that day instead. I don't know if that's going to be forever, that it will always be a collab in that spot. At some point, you run out of games, but we've definitely floated a number of these types of co-op shooters and whatnot. So had to rewind to confirm where you say you play as Tank. The man's name is Hunk. I'm so sorry to all Resident Evil fans out there. If only I could apologize more. I am a pathetic excuse of an enjoyer of Resident Evil. I am so disappointed in myself. It's Ogre. It's all Ogre. Get some more Nier music on here. So I think I was working on my other monitor and double-taked. The other question then is, like, I more or less have August. So August, I need to pick something short for Saturdays. September, I've basically planned the entire month already. Outside of Sunday, which I always kind of leave as a flex day. But again, like, Sundays, I could do Zenless. I could do Uma. Or I could pick actually short games and do those on Sundays to continue working through my backlog. Like Professor Layton, I think would be a good Sunday game. Just chill and solve puzzles, you know? But I kind of like the flexibility that I've had on Sundays. It's just, I can never post a schedule because I never know what I'm doing. October, after I finish Silent Hill, like whatever, Wednesday will turn into something probably horror. Assuming I can finish Trails by October, and it's still in October. Like, then I'd like to get another horror thing in for, you know, October being October. But I don't know what that would be. I mean, obviously there were choices on the spreadsheet. Like, if we just look at the definites, like on here, there's Alan Wake. That's a 2 to 3 stream thing. Amnesia the Bunker. Chronos. Evil Within. I guess Limbo would work. The Quarry. So, like, there's definitely options, but it's hard to say what it would be. But those were the only things I was locked in for. So the other thing I was saying is Yakuza 4. I definitely want to get another Yakuza in before Persona comes out and consumes my Saturdays for a long time. So somewhere in this November to December to January timeframe, there should be Yakuza 4, which is probably like a 5 or 6 week thing if I had to guess. Posted work in progress for the art I'm working on. Ooh. Oh, thank you for sending the Cuphead thing, Oblivion. That's looking good. I like it. I would love to see how that turns out. But good luck, Gamba. Gamba on the future work for that. Is this still new music? I think it is. But yeah, it's hard to kind of plan that much further in advance. Like I said, September I more or less have locked in. But it's the Miko P. Oh, yeah. I thought it looked familiar, but I couldn't place it. Yes. Now that you say that, I can think of it. Yeah. That's awesome. I really wish that I could stream Hollow Dreams just as like, even just like a Sunday off day kind of thing. Where it's like, yeah, you know, rhythm and chill. Kind of like I've done for DJ Max or Deada's Disco or whatever. But I hate playing it on the keyboard. Like, I want to be able to play it on my phone, but it's not going to work on my phone. That thing heats my phone up like crazy. Also, it drains my battery like crazy. I wouldn't be able to charge my battery fast enough when it's connected to my PC to even keep playing it. So I don't think I could ever stream it, which is the bummer. Really, the only potential option would be if I get it downloaded on my iPad. Maybe I could play it on my tablet. I don't know how easy it would be to get like the iPad to screen capture because I've had issues with my phone. Maybe it's easier with iPad. Maybe I have better luck. But and then I could probably tap instead of using my thumbs. But usually I use thumb, so it'd still be an adjustment. I don't know. Just have a backup phone ready? Yeah. I already use my phones, though. I have my personal phone, which I use... well, I don't use my personal phone when I stream. If I'm playing a mobile game, then I use my personal phone to play it on. And then I have a pre-owned, refurbished phone that I use just for VTube Studio. It does nothing else. I bet it can't even run Hollow Dreams if I had to guess. Rhythm game sucks on PC, but the mini games, Fall Guys goes crazy. I bet Fall Guys goes crazy, but I don't think I could do 3 hours of just Fall Guys and Pocojon. Like that's a lot. I think it would be fun to just get a multiplayer room going for mini games and rhythm stuff, though. Like the DJ Max multiplayer is always a good time. Just co-op playing. There is the new DLC for DJ Max that I haven't played yet. I've absolutely sat there and played Fall Guys for 3 hours straight. That's crazy. I mean, I'm glad you can. I don't think I could play it for more than an hour max. I don't have it in me. I need something more stimulating for the brain. Casino Coin Econ is amazing. The higher low game is such a bait. First of all, it's like, oh, higher low. And I sit down and then it's like, okay, make a poker hand. Like, what the fuck does poker have to do with high or low, first of all? Like, why do I have to make a poker hand to even get into the high and low? Is that a joke? I don't know how to play poker. I don't know poker hands. I have to look at the fucking help thing every single draw to even know what I'm doing. Like, this is so stupid. And then if you get your poker hand, then you can play high or low. And high or low is easy enough. It's like, okay, you pull a 2, sure, high. You pull a king, low. You pull a jack, probably low. But like, you know, then you have to decide how many times in a row do you do it. I think my highest I've done it in a row is 4. Before I'm like, oh no, just take my winnings and go. I think you guys are bad at high-low. What? Free 20k coins in my, or easiest free 20k coins in my life. You spend 500 coins for the opportunity to play. You flip queen and say lower, then you get king and back to the punishment mines to even play. Exactly. Like, I don't even get the poker hand I need to get into high or low, like 90% of the time. It's crazy. And I'm still tilted about the Pocojon game I played, where the person next to me was Kanade, and they got Pocojon like every other draw. Either somebody else put a card down and they got Pocojon, or they drew a card and got Pocojon. They got Pocojon 3 times in a row on their own draw. Like, they drew Pocojon, then they drew new cards, Pocojon, drew new cards, Pocojon. And every time that's the fucking from Kanade, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna shank my ears. I can't listen to this damn voice line anymore. So tilting. You're gonna have to mute it if there's a Kanade in the room. If you didn't do the poker shenanigans and just played higher lower and started a single coin, yeah, I think if you didn't have to do the poker thing and you can start with higher low, I would prefer that. At that point, I don't care what the starting bet is. If they let you choose, that's cool. It could be 100, it could be 500, it could be 1,000, like whatever. Choose your own bet. But like, just let us start with high and low. I don't want to start with the poker thing. I did get rage baited by Monday Chan. I did. I got immensely rage baited. I was rolling my eyes. I was doing the whole like the old tongue clicking tisk type stuff. I was mad. The "you fool" sticker is so good. Oh man, she's damn good at rage baiting. I'll tell you that. Also, I love this version of the song too, Frost. This is like one of the all-time greatest gaming songs in general, I would say. It's like, it's just such a peak cinema moment. I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it for people who haven't played it. I don't think Cashew has, but like the final sequence of Nier Automata is like I won't ever forget that. That is so cool. It's so unique. It's so memorable. It's just so freaking good. One day I'll play that game. Well, I would recommend either... personally, I would say play it on PS4. If you have it on PS4, you can probably get a pre-owned copy for not very expensive. I've heard that the PC port is insanely jank. You have to mod it quite a bit, from what I've heard, to actually make it like runnable. I think the Switch port is supposed to be pretty good too, though. So if you have an option of playing it on PS4 or Switch, I would play it on one of those over PC. But if PC is your only choice, you'll just have to put some work into modding it. I thought E was actual art. It was very good. I remember I liked A. After B, I was like, what's all the hype about? C and D, I was like, okay, this is cool. I like this. And then E, yeah, it's a great way to end the game. Actually, wait, no, the ending of B, maybe I got confused. I like the ending of B and how it leads into C and D. Or maybe C and D start. I'm thinking of a specific scene. I can't remember if it happens at the end of B or at the start of C. Like before it deviates into C and D. Whatever it is, it's good. Oh god, they can't hit me in the feels like this. They just... I forgot I have non-game stuff in here, and right after Weight of the World, we have Into the West from Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. No. Not Into the West. Hearing this makes me tear up every time. Just thinking about the ending of Return of the King. No! I didn't like the B was just A again. Yeah, exactly. I think B was my least favorite for that reason. It was still worth playing through, obviously, to get to the meat and potatoes of C and D and E, but I feel like they could have streamlined B a little bit, maybe. That being said, there was the one specific voice line, which I'm not going to say because, again, I don't want to spoil it for when like Cash or anybody else gets to it and gets smacked with it out of nowhere. But there was one specific voice line in the like the white area, if you know what I mean, where when you're playing in B and you get that voice line, which is a question being posed to the player, and I'm like, what? Where did that come from? You're not wrong, but where did that come from? I gotta get Into the West out of here before I start crying. Undertale soundtrack, even though I've never played it. But I like these songs. I know what you're talking about. It was such a good, just out of no... I mean, it's not out of nowhere, really. It's totally fitting and makes sense with the characters, but it super caught me off guard. I also think it's really funny how down bad Shiori is for 9S, because it's like a lot of guys and a lot of girls who play the game are like, oh my god, 2B, oh my god, A2, and then Shiori is like all about 9S. Like how there's many answers to the question that fit and it's ambiguous what it should be. Yeah. But I think there's one thing that we all can put in there. But yeah, that is great game. Highly recommend Cashew. Get it on that schedule one of these days. I say as if I don't have a bajillion games that I just went through that I need to somehow fit in my schedule when I already start looking ahead and I'm like, when the hell do I even have time for all these things? 2B was worth the trillions of polygons. She was. She certainly was. Well, my questions for myself will be... or to think about moving forward here are going to be I don't have a color that I didn't use. I guess this one. What do I do on these Saturday slots where I can either do a 2-game and a 1, a 3-game that gets split with a week, 3 ones, something on those 3 weeks. I have to decide. And then the Horror Wednesday game in October, once I finish Trails, will be the other question. Which color is the one-off to the moon stream? That's a good question. I guess it would fit with the one that I just drew. This like pinkish red. Although I think to the moon is what, like 3 or 4 hours? So it might be a little short for my typical Saturday stream. Although I guess it depends how much talking and exploring you do. So I could probably fill the whole time. But then I have to have the tissues ready, which is fine. I have a box of tissues right next to me. I needed it during Yakuza yesterday. Freaking... I don't know if that's the first time I've cried since I started streaming, like on stream. Again, I muted myself, so nobody knew outside of me saying it. But I've teared up at least a few times. I know I teared up in Persona, I teared up in Metaphor. I'd have to look at my list, but there's definitely been some other times. Yakuza 0 might have made me. I can't remember if any of them like made me cry. Maybe Persona 3 did get a tear or two. Your credits like 5 hours, 5-ish. Okay, 5. That does fit with my Saturday, and I typically do 5 to 6. Let me know ahead. I'll put PTO in. If I'm able to decide that far in advance, I will give you the notice. This is such a good song, even though I didn't play the game and don't have any intention to. Yeah, Save the World, Last Goodbye, those are both such good songs. Shout out Toby Fox, you know how to write a song, man. Toby, what did I say, Togi? Toby Fox, you know how to write a tune. Anyways, this has been fun. Very chat-heavy stream, as I said, but good to go through the backlog, good to get some impressions on stuff, good to get a little bit of planning done. But it is about that time that I call it and go get some pasta, because the pasta and sauce is ready to be devoured. This is a song that makes me want to cry. I'm sure if you're into Undertale, this is definitely the one that gets people. This and Last Goodbye, and maybe his theme. Was it his theme? Yeah, this one. I remember I was watching some of Miko's playthrough of Undertale. And, you know, it was live, so there were no subtitles, there was, like, no context. But I could infer what was happening during this scene. And Miko, I remember she was, like, reading the dialogue, and you could hear her voice start to break, like, in the middle of the line, and then she just went quiet and was, like, starting to cry as she was trying to read the lines, and I was like, no. So then I started to cry a little bit, because Miko's crying, and I'm like, it's hitting her so hard, and I'm sad. But yeah, this was good. A lot of good songs in that game. Yeah, Toby Fox, he's a talented dude. He knows how to write a song. I agree. Even though I have not played the game and don't plan on it, I appreciate the music for sure. Anyways, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna go get some dinner. But thank you all for coming to the stream. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed hanging out and chatting and all of that. Streams for next week should be pretty much the same. We should have Trails on Wednesday. Back for Blood on Thursday. Saturday I have to figure out, and then actually Saturday, Sunday, I don't know. But Wednesday, Thursday should be the same at least. So yeah. Hopefully I catch you guys for some streams next week. If If you're looking for something else to watch today, I know Cashew was doing his John Wick watch along at like 7, I think 1 and 2. So that would be a good thing to watch, I'm sure. I will probably be watching some anime to try and catch up on my my huge backlog. Maybe I'll finish Shangri-La Frontier Season 2 tonight. Yesterday, I was like, ooh, I'll finish Shangri-La Frontier. After I finish stream, I'll make dinner and finish Shangri-La Frontier. You know what I did? I had a bowl of ice cream, and then I went to bed. So, I didn't do anything. I finished stream, I had ice cream, and I went to bed. Good work, me. Anyways, I'll actually watch it tonight, hopefully. But thank you all again. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye!